And hello and welcome to the Salem Civic Center, now with audio coverage of the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game. You've heard from both head coaches. Keith Bunkenberg was talking about getting his team off to a hot start as the color guard leaves the floor. St. Thomas, John Tower, his team focused on what they do because as I welcome in Dave McHugh, my broadcast partner for this umpteenth time here on the National Championship game. You don't have a lot of time to prepare. You've gone from winning a game, both of them in dramatic and hard-fought fashion on Friday night, come back and turn around. At least they don't tip off until 6:05 or 6:06 on Saturday. It's not as quick a turnaround as it could be, but it's still not a lot of time to prepare for the biggest game of these guys' lives.
Yeah, for both teams, obviously, they're looking to get off to good starts if they can. I think they almost would rather get out to a hot, fast start, get a couple baskets made, and then settle down. So I mean, they got a couple hits instead of, oh darn, we missed that shot, and then they get tightened up. And that's kind of what we saw in the first game yesterday between Benedictine and Amherst. They all got, I thought Johnson was going to start them with a hot three at the beginning of the game, but they all cooled off, they all kind of got rigid, they got tighter, and they got tighter, and they got tighter. I think both teams would like to get going.
So the Eagles of Benedictine University coming to this game at 31-0, the champions of the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, based in Lisle, Illinois, playing for the first time for the Division III Men's Basketball National Championship. And the Eagles will start in the backcourt with a junior guard out of Country Club Hills, Illinois, a 6'2", 165-pounder, wearing number 2, Teron Harvey. He'll be joined in the backcourt by a 6'0" senior guard out of Gary, Indiana, wearing number 3 by the name of John Dodson. Also in the backcourt, a 6'3" junior out of Naperville, Illinois, number 33, Michael Blazik. The front court for the Eagles, a 6'5" junior out of Shorewood, Illinois, number 35, Adam Reynolds. And the D3Hoops.com first-team All-American, a 6'9" senior forward, also out of Naperville, Illinois, number 32, Luke Johnson. The Eagles, coached by Keith Bunkenberg. And then the Tommies of the University of St. Thomas, the regular season champions out of the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. An at-large team at 29-3, and they will start in the backcourt with a 6'0" junior guard out of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, wearing number 4 by the name of Grant Schaefer. Joined in the backcourt by a 5'11" senior guard out of St. Also in the backcourt for the Tommies, a 6'4" senior guard out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, number 24, Taylor Montero. In the front court, a 6'0" sophomore, 6'6" sophomore forward out of Norwood, Young America, Minnesota, by number 20, Ryan Bull. And then a 6'6" senior forward out of Lakeville, Minnesota, number 34, Ryan Sorella. The Tommies coached by John Tower. And Dave, we have about 4 minutes for keys to the game, which is a luxury for you and I at this stage of the week.
Yeah, seriously, that's pretty nice. Really, for both teams, I think it's going to be who can control the center, who can control inside play. Rebounding is so big for Benedictine. They out-rebounded Amherst by 20 last night. They averaged 14 to 15 rebounds a game, better than their opponents. If they are able to control the boards, if they're able to stop St. Thomas from getting extra opportunities and give themselves extra opportunities, that's going to be really tough for the Tommies to overcome. In the meantime, I also think that Benedictine has to hit some outside shots, spread the St. Thomas defense a little bit. Don't let them pack in. They packed in a lot last night against Christopher Newport for good reason.
They could, yeah.
They wanted to stop him from slashing inside. They wanted to keep Marcus Carter in front of them. They wanted to keep Brown in front of them, etc. But they cannot pack inside. It's going to remove Lucas Johnson as a factor. I think those two keys really are going to be important for these two teams. And also for Benedictine, actually for both teams, who's going to be the better defense? So far, really good defense has been shown in this weekend. It's going to come down to which defense gives up that one shot. Who's going to play just slightly better on defense is going to control and win this game.
And if that happens, we will have a fantastic national championship game here. Lots of purple in one corner, lots of red all over the place. And as we mentioned in the pregame show, if you're a St. Thomas fan, this has very much a feeling of a Tommy Johnny game because you are facing the Benedictine school.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Benedictine monks run it, but you're facing the team in red, and you're playing for something that is most important. If, in this case, not a rivalry, but walnut and bronze.
Yeah, certainly going to be a little bit deja vu, but here's the other thing that everyone's going to have to get used to. We've been playing with TV timeouts the entire tournament. We are used to media breaks, but they are 2 minutes long in this one. They are, or more. They're going to have to get used to much longer breaks, and sometimes that can kind of get you uneven because you come out of your timeout, you're ready to play, and no, you've still got another minute to go. We've gotten used to the timing of them, yes, not the length of them.
And Dave and I have gotten used to both, so we will probably send you to 2 or 3 promos and then come back, and Dave will still have things to say before we get underway. Yes, a lot of things are getting held up by TV. We hope that if you are watching, well, if you're listening to us and you have CBS Sports Network at home, go ahead, turn on CBS Sports Network, turn down the sound, use your DVR pause or whatever to line us up, because we will have a Division III focused Division III National Championship broadcast here for you.
Certainly love to time that up. Yes, this will be an audio-only broadcast. Doesn't take any pressure less off on us. It's still a big game and a big opportunity, but don't forget we'll also have post-game coverage coming up afterward. But yeah, this is the other opportunity. Right now we're waiting for TV to come back and get ready to play. That's literally how you have to get used to all of this playing out. But we hope you'll enjoy this one. I can't see how this isn't going to be a great game. These two teams are playing way too well. For the first time since '98, we might have an undefeated champion. For the first time since 2011, we might have a new champion. In the meantime, we also might get a repeat and another purple team. It's kind of fun.
So St. Thomas comes out there wearing the road purple with white numerals and gray trim. They're the number 8 ranked team in the country. Number 2, Benedictine, comes out in the home white with black and red numerals and red trim. Tipping it up, Johnson against Sorella, and the ball comes straight down, and we will try it again.
Oops. And the guys are getting a good laugh out of it, both of them.
The official signal to jump ball, I immediately looked for the arrow. There's no arrow yet because nobody's maintained possession. It's controlled in the backcourt to Grant Schaefer. St. Thomas will be going right to left across your computer monitor here in the first half. Glad you joined us here. Right away, 3 ball on the way for Montero, no good. Long rebound tracked down by Adam Reynolds.
Sorella's going to be key for St. Thomas. He did not play a lot of minutes yesterday. Got in foul trouble. Didn't have a great game. Of course, it was Ogden coming off the bench. Or Ogden coming off the bench that made a big difference.
Here's a 3 from the wing by John Dodson. It rattles out. Going up for it is Sorella. He comes down with it, and the Tommies pushing the tempo here. No score, 30 seconds into the basketball game. Here's Schaefer with a floater, high off the glass, no good. Rebound controlled by Blazik, and it's Benedictine basketball.
Curious how Dodson's going to be. Had 14 points in the round of 16, had just 5 in the round of 8, and then yesterday really wasn't a huge factor in the game. I'm almost waiting for him to reemerge for this offense.
Reynolds right of the circle, looking inside for Johnson. Pass deflected away by Bull and controlled by the Tommies.
That pass a little bit too inside on Johnson, too easy to tip from behind.
Here's a jumper from the baseline on the way, and it's good by Cortez Tillman, and the Tommies are on the board first up 2-0.
Tillman, a major factor in yesterday's game late in the first half, came back on the floor in a game that had been tied up, or even Christopher Newport taking the lead. He helped spur the Tommies back into the lead to going into the break.
There's Harvey up top of the key, 17 on the shot clock, looking inside. Johnson on the baseline, working his way against Bull, and pass knocked away, taken away. Here's a 1-on-2 fast break, taking it all the way to the hole, and it rolls around and out for Taylor Montero. Battle on the floor for the basketball. It looked like Benedictine had covered it right at the end, but they come in with a whistle, and the alternate possession arrow will point towards Benedictine.
St. Thomas willing to go up-tempo here. They would not do that with Christopher Newport. Felt that Christopher Newport was going to be too fast. Benedictine is willing to go up tempo too, but for the Tommies to make that decision early in transition, they're trying to maybe wear the Eagles out, catch them on their heels, and get a couple quick, easy points.
18-16 and counting remaining in the first half, 2-0. St. Thomas with the lead, Benedictine with the basketball here in the national championship game. An 18-footer on the way, back iron, too strong for Teron Harvey. Tillman all alone for the rebound.
Feel like they're shooting a little too quick, are the Eagles. I think they need to settle themselves down a little bit, run the offense a little bit more. Granted, yesterday they made too many extra passes.
Here's in the lane, Schaefer, and he gets his 12-footer to rattle around and in.
Schaefer had a big game yesterday as well. He is Basically, how the Tommies go will be how Schaefer goes. If he's having a good game and can distribute, they're going to be dangerous to stop on offense.
Schaefer, 19.6 boards yesterday in the semifinals. Here's a little up and under move on the baseline for Teron Harvey, and Benedictine's on the board down 4-2.
Great patience, but quick shot again, but great patience by Harvey. Split the double team, pump fake, got guys in the air, able to get the 2 points inside.
Follow us on Twitter at D3Hoops. Follow at Ryan Allen Scott for more in-game commentary as well. He's our ghost third member of our broadcast crew sitting alongside. So you follow him on Twitter, and we'll get his analysis at halftime. A foul against Benedictine goes against Blazik, his first.
Blazik got the foul for blocking. Coach Bungenberg wanted a push-off call, but he went the other way instead.
Schaefer drives left and high off the window for 2 for the junior.
So far, it's the defense of the Eagles that are having trouble with the Tommies right now. Quick 6 easy points for St. Thomas.
6-2, Tommies with the lead. Here's Harvey driving in, pull up over Tillman. Nope, airballed it off to the right-hand side and rebounded by Schaefer, who just flew in to pick up that basketball.
Not sure why the Eagles are doing this, but they are not running their set. They are basically just putting up the first shot that comes available.
Here's a shot, a 15-footer on the way, short off the front iron by Bull. Benedictine with the board. 6-2 the score, 16:46 and counting left in the first half.
Blazik certainly can be the X factor for this team. He can change pace. He can shoot from outside.
That's what he's doing there, but it's a three-pointer that's long. Rebound controlled by Reynolds as Montero could not keep his feet.
And Reynolds is a spark plug for this team. Get him involved, and it could be a whole new ball game for the Eagles.
Harvey on the baseline, step back 3. Buries that one, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Important shot there for the Eagles to get a big basket, cut the deficit to within 1. They also ran it a little bit that time after getting the second chance opportunity.
That they did. They did run the offense a little bit. Lead is down to 1. Here's Schaefer, crossover dribble, kicks it outside, pass deflected out of bounds. It will remain Tommy basketball. 16:06 here in the first half.
Nice job of Schaefer to cut in, knowing that the defense collapsed at an open man, but it was a better job of Blazik of shutting down the passing lane, getting his arm in there, and deflecting it out of bounds.
Montero to inbounds. Tillman gets it out on the near side. Shot clock at 15. Swung around on the far wing for Montero. He gets it back. Shot clock at 9. Tillman out between the circles, working against Harvey. Throws it up from 25. Air balls. Sorella, however, right there underneath, put back for 2.
I actually think that's going to go down as an assist, Pat. I'm pretty sure that was a pass. Really long, arcing one that just missed the rim pass.
In the All-Star game, that would have been a pass. Or an assist. The only assist in the entire All-Star game. Not true. Johnson swings around far side for Harvey. Kicks it out, 3 on the way for Blazik in the near corner, no good. And rebounded by Schaefer. Schaefer pushing it up with a 3-on-2. Now he's going to pull it back.
Benedictine's just got to settle down on offense a little bit here. They're kind of reminding me of yesterday, going a little too high tempo.
Sorella trying to work against Dodson. Kicks it outside for Montero. Montero dribbles in. Here's a little runner, and it's up the glass for 2. 10-5 Tommies.
Reynolds can certainly stay with Montero, and except when there's a pick, and he ran right into a pick. Montero did a very nice job setting that screen up. 15:04 and counting remaining in the first half. A floater by Dodson. 2 hops, won't go. Johnson and Sorella battle for the rebound, and they're going to call a jump ball. And with that, we'll have a timeout on the floor. So with 15 minutes to go here in the first half, University of St. Thomas leads Benedictine by the score of 10-5. You are listening to D3Hoops.com coverage of the 2016 Division III men's basketball championship game.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was scared and shy. It was hard to look at people's faces. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. I made friends and won lots of gold medals. But I learned more than just playing golf. Special Olympics helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
I'm a division.
Cheer for the stumbles. The he shoulda had that's. And the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Welcome back to the Salem Civic Center, host of the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game, as it has been for umpteen of the last umpteen plus 1 years.
19 of the last 20. Got it memorized.
I just think it sounds better to say umpteen because it's been that long since the National Championship game has been regularly held elsewhere. Glad you joined us here on D3Hoops.com. Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh as we bring you live audio play-by-play coverage. Video rights restricted, so here we are. Glad you joined us. Montero with the basketball for the Tommies, working on the basket to our left, and a little bit of a fall away. Gets it in for two, and it's a 7-point lead.
Basic on Montero that time. Montero able to back him down just a little extra body contact allowed from the official.
Reynolds and Benedictine working on the basket to our right here in the first half against Sorella. Dumps it outside. Nice one-handed tip pass for Harvey. Harvey turnaround, doesn't go. Rebound battle for Reynolds there for the putback and is in there for two.
Great job of the one-handed pass.
Yep.
Second of all, Reynolds being in position for what was not as great a shot from Harvey as you would expect inside.
First bucket of the evening for Reynolds. And the lead is cut to 5, 12-7 coming up on the 14-minute mark here of the first half. Schaefer with the basketball for the Tommies. Dribbles off a screen, pull up, a little bit of a floater, doesn't fall, and Reynolds is there for the board. Dodson, crossover, gets past Schaefer, dribbles into the lane, kicks back outside. Reynolds with a three ball on the way, and it is off the front rim, no good. Sorella with the board for the St. Thomas.
Reynolds a 38% three-point shooting team and a steal.
Steal by Blazik in transition. Coming back, passed up the opportunity at a transition basket. Now Blazik with the ball out on the perimeter, working against Schaefer. Now trying to go baseline, and he traveled.
Every once in a while, Blazik will make a decision like that I think it's just a little too over-aggressive. He gets himself into trouble there, and that certainly was the case on that opportunity. I don't think he needed to drive around that screen and get pinned onto the baseline like he did. I don't think the play was there. I think he needs to reset the offense, unfortunately. But at the same time, you love that passion, too, because that's the kind of thing that gives him the audacity to hit big shots for this team.
Third turnover of the evening for the Eagles. Checking in for the Tommies, Jimmy Remke, first guy off the bench traditionally and also tonight, but not last night. And here's Sorella with a nice little hook shot over Johnson.
Sorella's already played more minutes in this first half than he did, or at this point in the first half than he did last night, not in foul trouble. He's maybe getting into the offensive flow now.
14-7, Tommies with the lead, 12:55 and counting in the first half. Johnson steps back, 21-footer, off the iron, no good. High for the rebound is Tim Reamer. His nice little reverse layup for two.
It's not exactly how they teach you to do it, but he certainly finished it off very nicely. Johnson there trying to make Sorella respect his outside shot. If Johnson hits a couple of those, they're going to be pretty good for Sorella to be in.
Wow. And a spin move for Sorella trying to get around Johnson. Got around Johnson. Johnson reacted, but the foul is going to be against Reamer, who came over to help.
Yeah, Johnson didn't commit the foul. He got the nice block, actually, but Reamer on the help defense came and clipped Sorella as he was going in the lane.
Sorella at the line on the season is 72% free throw shooter. First shot rattles out.
Sorella.
Checking in for the Eagles, Braden Olson comes into the game, and Dodson will take a seat.
Sorella 16th in the country entering the weekend in field goal percentage in the NCAA.
Second shot on the way, and that is no good either, and rebounded by Johnson. So Cullen Ogren, who's waiting to check in for Sorella, will have to sit. 14-9 the score, 12:25 and counting remaining in the first half. Olson, Johnson now underneath Reamer. Shot no good. Nice defense there by Remke. Maybe batted the rebound away as well.
Reamer basically forced the backboard to be a second defender. He was too far underneath on that shot attempt.
Schaefer in the low post, working against Olson. Trying to dribble in, kicks it outside, shot at the elbow on the way for Sorella, and he drains that one.
Interesting. Good job by Olson to keep Schaefer in front of him, but unfortunately for the Eagles, Johnson came down on the help defense and opened Sorella up to a 15-footer.
And there's going to be a foul on the floor. Foul going against Cortez Tillman. First personal foul, first team foul for the Tommies, and there's a timeout on the floor, so we'll take a break. 11:48 to go here in the first half. St. Thomas leads Benedictine by the score of 16-9. You're listening to D3Hoops.com coverage of the Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game from the Salem Civic Center.
Division III schools offer academic scholarships instead of athletic scholarships. This really puts the focus that the student athlete needs to maintain that GPA.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III. A lot of people pick schools just based on the sport and don't get that experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court.
I'm also the Schwartz Scholar of my class. Schwartz Scholarship is basically a scholarship that is given to a student who's identified as a likely leader.
And the end of the day, it won't matter how they play on the field, it will matter how they do in the classroom.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's 800 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over a decade. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're at D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
For the love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
Welcome back to the Salem Civic Center. 11:48 to go in the first half. University of St. Thomas leads Benedictine by the score of 16-9. Also going on this evening in Columbus, Ohio at Capital University is the women's basketball national semifinals, and they're at the end of the third quarter in the first semifinal there. And Tufts leads Wartburg by the score of 44-35. That championship game won't be played until 2 weeks from Monday on April 4th. In Indianapolis, and there is a turnover in the post, the 4th turnover on the evening for the Eagles. It's Tommy basketball. Coming baseline, Remke high off the glass and gets 3 bounces and a perfect roll to go through.
Unfortunately right now for Benedictine, they're shooting kind of like they did last night at 26.7%, 4 of 15, but for St. Thomas, shooting above 57%. They are, I think, 9 for 15 on the night.
There's a 3 ball on the way, too strong off the back iron for Matt Chatlin. Charlton with the 3 ball, no good, but an offensive rebound for the Eagles. Olson, now Charlton steps in, a 19-footer. That one is no good, and easily for the rebound is Jimmy Remke.
They're rushing a lot of shots. It's that thing again, if they came out and hit a couple of shots, they'd settle into themselves a little bit here. I think the Eagles have got to be patient, run their offense, and trust the shots are going to come from that, not force it.
Cullen Ogren in the post. Benedictine fans wanted an offensive foul. I think all Ogren got was a up close and personal contact with Tim Reamer's armpit.
Yeah, unfortunately, he might have. I don't know if he got it.
Well, Schaefer's layup no good. Ogren can't control the tip in.
Not sure if there was a travel there or not, but that's what they were looking for. But at least they came away with no points.
Out on the wing, a 3-pointer on the way for Charlton. That one's no good. Offensive rebound by Harvey and a fresh 30 for the Eagles. 18-9 our score with 10:08 to go. I know you meant the Benedictine offense, but I thought I'd go a game reset too. There's a 18-footer rattles in for Tim Reamer, and Benedictine has cut the lead to 7.
Good job of Reamer there hitting that basket. That's a shot the Eagles need. They're now 5 of 19 from the floor, but they cut the deficit to 7.
And it's been a struggle for Benedictine from the floor both of these games. Especially so right here. Here's Tillman with the basketball, dribbling in. Right-handed layup from the left side, no good, and Reamer's there to collect the loose ball rebound. Charlton tries to dribble baseline, pulls it back out. 9:30 to go in the first half, 18-11. St. Thomas with the lead, Benedictine with the basketball. Back over the head, here's a pass out to Johnson, and Johnson buries a 3 from the wing.
Well, pick and roll action that time. Johnson rolling off the screen high, getting the open look on the wing. The pass coming over the top of the head to a wide open Johnson. Nice little release from him.
First 3 points of the evening for Lucas Johnson. Remke with the basketball for the Tommies, working on the basket to our left here in the first half. Schaefer with it. Out near the top of the key, picks up his dribble. Tillman, shot clock at 8, swung around to the corner, 3 on the way for ball, and there's going to be a foul on the rebound. It's going to be called against Remke. He had crashed in, gotten the rebound, and probably was likely to have traveled anyway in the process.
Yeah, he tied up with Harvey, unfortunately, at the same time, and they got tangled, and Harvey trying to get away from him allowed Remke to get the ball, to be honest, but it was Remke's extra effort there that caused the foul.
Sorella and Montero back into the game for the Tommies. Tillman and Remke go to the bench. Sean Salter into the game for the first time for Benedictine. He's got the basketball, left wing. Swing pass in the corner. Braden Olson can't hold on to it, and they're going to say it is Benedictine basketball.
Olson took his eye off the ball and got bailed out by the fact that there was an extra effort that time by Montero. Olson will now take a seat, and Dodson will check back into the game.
Inbound comes to Dodson. Picks it back up. Now he's got it just right of the wing. Guarded by Bull. Outside, an 18-footer from the elbow. That's no good by Salter and rebounded by the Tommies. Okay, a little bit of contact there. Taylor Montero took a little bit of personal offense to it, tried to get somebody to pay attention.
And luckily, didn't care about the fact he left the ball behind because he knew he had a teammate there to go pick it up. He literally just walked away from a bouncing ball.
I don't know if that's the strangest thing I've seen in 19 championship games.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Sorella from 18 feet, and he buries it. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 2014.
Sorella's having a much better game tonight so far than he did yesterday. Granted, not being in foul trouble is a big key. Wonder if Johnson and the other guys have got to maybe attack Sorella here.
Here's a 3-ball on the way for Harvey. No good as we're under 8 in the first half. Rebound tipped and controlled by Ogren. But yeah, Sorella with 8 points, perfect 4 for 4 from the floor. If you ignored those 2 foul shots that he missed badly, it's been a pretty good day. It's been a pretty good day anyway.
Yeah, Selter on the previous one, traveling violation. Sorella's not going to argue it, but earlier I should say that it was Selter who tried to out-jump for the rebound, but jumped too soon.
So with 7:34 to go here in the first half, we're going to take a break. We'll be back after this. Timeout on the floor with St. Thomas leading Benedictine by the score of 20-14 in the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game on D3Hoops.com.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
And welcome back to beautiful Salem, Virginia, the Salem Civic Center, home of the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game. I'm Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh here for D3Hoops.com, and that was the under 8 timeout where St. Thomas 10 of 18 from the floor, 0 for 2 from downtown, 0 for 2 from the line. On the opposite side, Benedictine 6 of 22 from the floor, 2 for 10 from beyond the arc, and zip from the foul line here in the early going. If you did the math, you know it's 20-14. Here's a dump pass in the post, shot no good by Reamer, but he will go to the foul line. Where Reamer on the season is a 79% free throw shooter, 2 for 2 here last night.
Should mention that Reamer was the Elite 90 winner here this weekend, going to the student athlete with the highest GPA of the 4 teams here. Scholar athlete of the NACC last season as well.
And so what were the details on him in terms
totally
of
forgot.
GPA and if only we had our own personal.
I don't remember what Reamer's stats were for the Elite 90 award, but I'm quite sure that my clue could be given pretty nicely.
Is it in the, it's probably in those notes, I don't know.
I don't remember.
But we have Tim Calderwood, who's
I shamelessly gave my clue.
A former D3Hoops.com broadcaster as well, by the way.
3.88 in physical education.
I was going to say, is that like, I was looking PE.
Yeah, no, not in gym class.
What kind of engineering is that? Physical engineering, and Jimmy Remke with a little nice move for a baseline jumper. Tommy's back up by 7. St. Thomas looking for its second national championship. Benedictine looking for a national title and trying to run the table, which nobody has done in Division III men's basketball since '98. And a pass too hard from Harvey off the hands of Dodson, out of bounds. It'll be Tommy Ball.
You can see the frustration right now. The Eagles aren't even talking to each other. That time it was Dodson flying in to try and help on a rebound, and it was Harvey who kicked out to Dodson unexpectedly. And what I'm noticing is they're not chatting with each other. And it's a team that's very tight. And you think on a mistake like that, they would have at least communicated.
And they're not usually very tight. We ran a feature story this week on the site about how loose they are.
Yep.
It has been, it's a big spotlight here, though, big stage. And it's Montero shot in the lane, no good. Gets the offensive rebound, and there will be a foul on Sean Salter for Benedictine.
Chalton spent half that possession on his butt, unfortunately. Tripped up, tried to get back to his feet. It was Montero who would take advantage of Chalton being on the ground, and Chalton ended up staying down there as Montero tried to make a drive around him.
Montero, an 80% free throw shooter. He makes the first. 5th point of the evening. Sorella leads all scorers with 8. Reamer and Harvey with 5 apiece for Benedictine. Second shot on the way, and that one is good for Montero as well. So he's got 6 points, and the Tommy lead is at 9, 24-15.
Montero, one of 2 guys on this team who had played on the USA D3 All-Star team in Brazil this July.
In where?
Brazil.
Oh, okay. I don't know what you were.
I was trying to say Brazil and July at the same time.
There's a Blazek working baseline, and he draws a foul. Substitutes at the table. Reynolds and Johnson come back into the game for Benedictine, and it will be Reamer heading to the bench along with Salter.
This is the largest deficit the Eagles have seen in the tournament so far this year. 9 points. I like to see Johnson and Reamer kind of spark this team right now. They can't wait till halftime.
Reamer's out, but Reynolds is in the game.
I'm sorry, I meant Reynolds.
I figured you probably did because he could certainly easily spark them. Blazek with the basketball, guarded by Bull, working his way to the basket, fighting his way up there, shot no good. Remke there for the rebound. Rebounding edge is even, 14-13.
Fans are going to want to call there, but it was Blazek that was making all the contact, not Bull.
Yeah, it was. And on the other end, Taylor Montero with a layup. It's an 11-point game.
But back to that point, you can't drive the lane and cause the contact yourself and expect the refs to call that on the defender.
Yeah, he was very aggressive with the basketball. He was fortunate to not get called for a foul himself. Dodson with a layup to cut the lead to 9.
A 6-foot guard out of Gary, Indiana, made a nice drive to the paint there, got the defense back on their heels, and got a nice layup opportunity as a result.
26-17, Tommy's with the lead in the leather here in the late portions of the first half, and Taylor Montero with another layup. He's just driving that right side of the lane.
Until they're going to stop him, he might as well keep trying it.
Johnson from 23, ball in the way, buried that one.
He hit the first one of the game yesterday, then missed one and didn't take another shot. He missed the first attempt tonight, hit the second one, and now is starting to feel it from that range, and that's going to change the Tommy defense.
Don't forget, that is a 6'9" forward out there from 23 feet.
By the way,
draining that one.
Defensive change for the Eagles, too. They now have Reynolds on Sorella. Johnson's over on the 4-man. They figure Reynolds can give a little bit more contact to Sorella, and you just saw it on that possession.
Kicked it outside to Remke for 3, and it rattled out, rebounded by Reynolds.
Sorella tried to back Reynolds down. Reynolds wouldn't move.
Yeah, Reynolds much bigger. There's a shot in the lane for Dodson. Back-to-back buckets on drives to paint for him.
Eagles are starting to find their legs here a little bit. 4-0 mini run, trying to get another stop on defense.
28-22.
That should have been a push-off. Montero probably should have gotten called for a push-off there.
Bunkenberg making a lot of noise. Montero looked over at him. I don't know. Schaefer dribbles it back out. Sorella dribbles in from the left side, and there's going to be a foul against Reynolds.
Yeah, Reynolds that time a little too over-aggressive. He tried to stop Sorella at the top. Sorella made a nice move to get past him, and then a hip check from Reynolds. And a little extracurricular activities as well. Sorella will take a seat, and Ogden will come back in. Reynolds isn't afraid to go after Sorella, and that's basically, he's trying to intimidate, is basically what he's trying to play, that kind of game right now.
Yep. Ogren back into the game, the man of the hour for the first 20 minutes of the game and much of the second 20 minutes of the game for the Tommies yesterday.
Oh, he was terrific yesterday. 8 points in the first half. That beat his career high. It beat all of last season.
Get you a Tommy lineup reset here in a second, but it was Montero getting tied up with Blazik, and this one's going to go against Montero. Montero's pretty fired up.
Yeah, you know what? Montero's got to calm himself down. Montero that time raised his elbow to get position on the baseline and put it squarely into Blazik's temple, basically. And then he decided to walk about halfway down the court with the ball in his hand when Dodson and Johnson wanted to back to inbound it, and the referee smartly went over to Montero to tell him he should have given up the ball.
Under 4 to go in the first half. Starting 5 on the floor for the Eagles. Harvey, Dodson, Johnson, Blazik, and Reynolds. They have the basketball, working on the basket to our right. Down by 6, 28-22. Johnson in the post.
Oh, nice.
Bounce pass to Reynolds in the other post, working against Ogren. Little shot for 2.
Oh, I guess what's just happened. The Eagles are starting to find the inside game, and it's because Reynolds are using earlier than they did in the past. The last couple of times they've started to go to Reynolds, it's been second half. They're going to him in the first half, and it was a nice post-to-post play from Johnson and Reynolds to set that up.
Second bucket for Reynolds here on the course of this evening. Remke swings it out in the corner. Bull shot on the way, no good. Remke collects the glass and cleans it for 2.
Good job of keeping his eyes on the ball. He had screened out Harvey. Harvey thought he had screened out Remke, but Remke kept his eyes on the ball, whereas Harvey lost track of it and gave Remke a great opportunity for the extra 2 points.
3:02 and counting remaining in the first half. Reynolds against Ogren, out on the low post extended, kicks it back outside. Harvey swings it around for Blazik in the corner. 3 on the way, and it's good.
Blazik hit that shot in the second half last night that kind of ended the chances of a comeback for Amherst. He heats up from that corner, and he's going to be dangerous to stop, too.
It's a 3-point ball game, 30-27. Montero steps in, floater in the lane is good.
He's Montero, sneaky good at 6'4".
And for a guy, I was most impressed there, a guy who's really emotional on it right now, really fired up, but stopped, took a controlled shot. You know, that little shot is tough to hit if you're fired up.
Especially if you're on the move, as he was, and Dotson pulls the trigger on the other end, rattles out. He has struggled to hit shots here in Salem.
Yeah, he's hit a couple of those layups, but then he's struggled from the mid-range. And there's a shot no good by the Tommies, but Schaefer with the rebound. Montero for 3, buried that.
Schaefer did 2 things that were interesting there. First, he went up against Johnson and got intimidated, took a bad shot, but then smartly found Montero on the rebound for the extra shot. Benedictine's given up back-to-back offensive rebounds that time and gotten killed by 5 points.
Yep. It's a shot by Blazik at the elbow, no good. Montero with the rebound. You're right, Dave. Tommy's lead had been whittled to 3, and then back-to-back baskets has pushed it back out to 8 with $1:38 to go. We still have a media timeout waiting.
We do with a
if they can get to it.
What happens if we get to 0 and they haven't taken it? Do we just go?
I have to ask CBS. Or maybe they have to get some make goods
sponsors,
make goods in the second half. Here's Remke. It is just rejected by Johnson. Harvey coming the other way, 2-on-2. Trail it back for Johnson, and the layup is good.
The little flip pass from Dodson behind his back. That's a noontime hoops type thing from guys who don't play in these games.
We would have seen that in the first game here this afternoon.
Absolutely. And Johnson, by the way, coming over on the help defense to set that all up with an emphatic slap of the ball. And Schaefer just went down really hard on his left side.
Yeah, just went to clutch his left quad for just a second, and now we're finally going to get that under 4 timeout here with a minute to go. 35-29 our score. St. Thomas leading Benedictine here in the first half of the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game from the Salem Civic Center. We'll be back with more coverage on D3Hoops.com after this.
For the love of the game, but for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's 800 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over a decade. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're at D3Hoops.com at www.D3Hoops.com.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Celebrate the soggy shoes and the slow starts. Celebrate the lessons learned along the way. These are the wins. Not the shiny nail-biting kind. These are the last a lifetime kind.
Welcome back to the Salem Civic Center for the final minute of the first half, with St. Thomas leading Benedictine by the score of 35-29. I'm Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh for D3Hoops.com here on this 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game. And we come back out with Grant Schaefer going to the line to shoot a pair. First shot on the way, and it is good. Schaefer on the season, a 73% free throw shooter. Lead is up to 7. Remember, he left kind of clutching his quad right before the break, but looking good there with 2 foul shots to up the lead back to 8. At the half, Ryan Scott will join me, and we'll chat about this first half of action. And then we'll also get a coach from the voluminous number of NABC coaches out of Division III here to analyze it with us as well. And a 3 on the way, and good for Michael Blaze. It cuts the lead to 5.
Could have called it about 25 feet. Nice shot from deep. Nice smooth, and a timeout called by St. Thomas, because why not? You got one to use or lose.
Yep.
Actually saw a team lose it earlier in the tournament. Alma never called their first half timeout in one of the games I saw them play. But you might as well use it, so let's use it here.
Yep, and you can assume that Benedictine will do
he'll
the
use
same.
it. If there's a make or there's a miss, unless he feels in transition, and that's where losing it isn't going to kill you necessarily. But yeah, if he feels like he wants to set up a play, then he'll call it here on the next transition. Because obviously, with about 11 seconds between shot clock and game clock here, Benedictine's going to get one more possession here. A stop here is huge. You stop St. Thomas and go down and get 2 or 3 points, you can make this a one-possession ball game going into the half. And considering how rough you started the game, shooting about 22%, you're up to 41% from the floor now. That'd be a big difference.
Tommy's come out with Schaefer, Montero, Remke, Sorella, and Bull. Lead at 5. Sorella, top of the key. Gives it to Remke, left of the circle, guarded by Harvey. Back out top. Now for Schaefer. Shot clock at 13, game clock at 22. Crosses over, dribbles into the paint, kicks it back outside. Remke takes it in, up and under, around a defender, hits rim, no good. Put back, doesn't fall, can't quite get it over the top of the rim. Ken Sorella, and they're going to call a foul on Reamer. On the floor, literally on the floor.
Not sure where that foul originated. Funkenberg basically says, "Are you kidding me?" Unfortunately, I'm not going to get a good look at it replay-wise, I don't think.
I don't think they're going to show that on the board here, no.
I'm not sure how Reamer gets that as a foul, considering Sorella went over him to get to the ball.
Just so you know, Dave is watching a monitor that is literally about 40 feet from us, about 10 people down press row here.
And I mean, Reamer had position. Sorella went over the top of him. I'm a little surprised they called that on Reamer.
Dodson knocks the inbounds pass out of bounds. Remember that now St. Thomas has the shot clock off here with 11.4 to go.
And the big key there is now Eagles don't get that last shot here.
Schaefer with the basketball, guarded by Dodson. Game clock ticking under 6. Out between the circles. Left-handed dribble between his legs. 1.8, shot on the way, and it's off the front rim, no good. Headed right for
good skill
position.
from the former athlete.
Yeah, Ryan Scott collects that dead ball rebound at the end of the half. And it's 37-32 as we go to the half. St. Thomas with the lead on Benedictine. And Dave, interesting first half of action. Benedictine, real slow start, but after that under 8 timeout, they finished the half on a 7-for-10 stretch from the floor, and it was 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Yeah, they've heated up, which is good to see. Shooting 41% now from the floor, 39% from beyond the arc. They're going to need to, better. I think they need to attack the rim, so they only have 2 free throws on the game. I think they need to improve that. St. Thomas on the other side, shooting 52% from the floor. Interestingly, 1 for 6 from beyond the arc. That's something certainly Benedictine can take advantage of. If they're going to be cold outside, they can maybe step back, jam up the lane a little bit. I really like the mix-up of Reynolds going on to Sorella there. I think that's something to take advantage of. And again, put Reynolds, make him the spark plug in the second half. Again, you've ridden that trip before. I'd love to see it again. But I'm impressed. Eagles kind of took a bad 8 minutes there and have responded. And we'll see what they can do the rest of the way. The difference is St. Thomas, 24 to 14 points in the paint. That's going to have to change if Benedictine wants to get back in or take the lead in this.
Remember yesterday, too, St. Thomas made just 1 3-pointer, which for them ended as it's the lowest number of threes they'd made in 115 games. They were 31 of 57 in the previous 4 NCAA tournament games. It was a unusual night from them from 3. But we're going to take a break. We're here at the half, and it is St. Thomas leading Benedictine 37-32. We'll be back with more after this.
Division III schools offer academic scholarships instead of athletic scholarships. This really puts the focus that the student athlete needs to maintain that GPA.
I did receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III. A lot of people pick schools just based on the sport and don't get that experience.
Being a Division III athlete and developing my leadership skills has definitely put my name out there and helped me get more recognition on campus, but more recognition nationwide. I did win the Jostens Trophy, which is based on leadership, academics, and then how well you do on the court.
I'm also the Schwartz Scholar of my class. Schwartz Scholarship is basically a scholarship that is given to a student who's identified as a likely leader.
And the end of the day, it won't matter how they play on the field, it will matter how they do in the classroom.
And welcome back. We're at the half here at the Salem Civic Center with St. Thomas leading Benedictine by the score of 37-32. I'm Pat Coleman, and I'm joined by Ryan Scott, around the Mid-Atlantic columnist for D3Hoops.com, as he's been here helping us cover the championship weekend as well. And Ryan, I just get to, first of all, your general impressions on the first half of action today.
Well, you could tell St. Thomas was the more experienced team. They came out playing a lot better at the beginning, but it seemed like Benedictine kind of came around the end of the half and pulled it. They're down just 5 now, but they were playing a lot better. I think we're going to see a real competitive second half.
Yeah, we talked kind of extensively coming in, right, about how Benedictine's been home, right? They've been in their comfort zone. They've been around their home gym. They've been in their home area for quite pretty much everything, right? They played everybody that they know in their conference, so they didn't go too far for that. They played 5 CCIW teams, and then they had a first-round bye and 3 home games. They had to come here and get completely different, completely out of their comfort zone. And then today, you know, the pomp and circumstance of the national championship game, maybe the slow pace, the long timeouts, might be something to take a little bit extra time to get accustomed to as well.
Yeah, you could see that they just weren't as comfortable to start the game. You got to credit St. Thomas a little bit. They weren't letting any of the post players get in. They weren't letting the ball get inside, and that was really taking Benedictine out of their game early on. I think Coach Bunkenberg did a really good job. He pulled out his starters, Luke Johnson and Reynolds, and sat them while the first team post guy, Sorella, was in for St. Thomas. And then once they pulled Sorella out, they brought the starters back in. It really helped them get sort of a post game going. I thought that was a pretty smart strategy.
Yeah, and Johnson came out, back out. He hit a couple of threes. Reynolds had a couple of buckets there in the final half of the second half. On the other side, we've been talking about how fired up, I guess we say, Taylor Montero is, right? He's a guy who's playing a little bit outside of himself emotionally, but is having a good first half, 6 of 9 from the floor for 15 points.
Yeah, it's not typical St. Thomas, showing a lot of emotion. He's taken some chances, but, you know, this is his senior year. He was the only one of these guys who really got minutes as a freshman when they were here before, and you can kind of tell, much like Connor Green yesterday, he wants this to be a big game for him as the last one in his college career.
We're talking about storylines, right? There's those things that are now so big-time television and big-time media oriented, right? But what are the things that you're looking at here as this game goes on?
Well, one, it seems like both teams have a very specific plan that they're trying to execute. You know, they're Benedictine is trying to make St. Thomas keep the ball out of Schaefer's hand. You know, Schaefer's run the show a lot, and he's not had, I don't know if we have usage rate percentages here with our stats, but he's definitely not having the ball in his hands as much as he normally does. I think that's definitely what Benedictine wants to do. And, St. Thomas is doing what they've always done, pack the defense in and keep them on the perimeter, and that's really hurting Benedictine. They've relied on the post all season, and they're not being able to use it.
Yeah. One more question, and we'll let you get back to you can enjoy a halftime. Since this might be my final broadcast, I'm not leaving until they kick me out, until they drag me out of here. Benedictine, I wondered about them in terms of perimeter shooting. And again, that's another place where they started off slow. Dave's made a point a couple times that they need to heat up, and they have hit their last 3. How much does that change, you think, coming into the other end of the gymnasium? Is it a big deal?
Well, everybody's been saying that this, I guess we call it the left from our view, this basket has been harder to shoot on, but I don't think that's going to matter. They'll take the shots when they get them, but really it's been Blazek stepping up all through this tournament, but really this weekend he's been there not just shooting, he'll shoot when he's open, but getting to the paint and being aggressive, and St. Thomas has not had a defense for him yet, so if they can keep getting him the ball, that should help.
Well, we're going to take a break. Thanks, Ryan. When we come back, we'll be chatting with Mike DeWitt, the head coach of Ohio Wesleyan University. His team, of course, saw Benedictine last weekend, and we'll break that down a little bit more. We're at the half. University of St. Thomas leading Benedictine by the score of 37-32. We'll be back in a moment. And back out here courtside at the Salem Civic Center at the half. St. Thomas leading Benedictine by the score of 37-32. I'm Pat Coleman for D3Hoops.com, and now I'm joined by Mike DeWitt, the head men's basketball coach at Ohio Wesleyan University. His team you guys got to see Benedictine earlier this season, maybe not in the most pleasant of circumstances, but what's your takeaway, your reaction to the first 20 minutes here?
Well, I think I'm sitting with a lot of the coaches here, and the game is pretty much going, I think, as a lot of us thought it would. It's a pretty physical contest. Both teams match up against each other very, very well. Looking at the stats here, St. Thomas is out rebounding Benedictine 18-16, which I think is probably something Benedictine's not used to. But I think looking at the teams and looking at how they played last night, I think everyone thought it would be an even match, and it certainly is so far.
Yeah, last night Benedictine with that huge 50-30 rebounding advantage on Amherst, where it seemed like every rebound they needed, every rebound they wanted, every rebound they needed, they got.
Yeah, and that's been a characteristic of Benedictine as long as I've followed them, which was obviously in the round of 16 when they beat us, and then after that when they played Alma, and then last night they've been able to really kind of create separation between themselves and their opponents with their rebounding. It'll be interesting to see in the second half if they can do that to a good St. Thomas team.
We've talked about how defensive-oriented the teams are that are here this weekend, and obviously we saw a lot of that play out yesterday with two very low-scoring games. But you come back a second day, Benedictine might have come out a little tight, but they weren't tight nearly as long as they were yesterday. What do you think about, did you expect in terms of, do you expect the game to be on pace to be in the 70s like it might be here?
Yeah, it's hard to prepare for a second night of a two-game set, as it were, and obviously you have the semifinals and finals being played back-to-back in less than 24 hours. And I'm sure the coaches stayed up all night watching video, and hopefully the players got some rest, but it's hard to really prepare as well as you could for a game when you have 2 or 3 days of preparation. So I think the offense probably has a bit of advantage both ways, so it is probably a little more high scoring than maybe what some people anticipated.
You mentioned, of course, talking with other coaches, and that's one of the big focuses of the Division III Men's Basketball Championship weekend is how many Division III men's basketball coaches and assistant coaches come down here. It's just kind of turned into an event right now. It seems like 40 coaches is about the norm. NABC All-Star Game has been a great addition to this weekend. What do you think about how this has developed?
It's a really neat thing, and being a Division III coach, I really appreciate the camaraderie that we as coaches have. I think the All-Star Game adds to the weekend in terms of a lot of the coaches come down and see the All-Stars play, and then they stay for, they come to the semifinal games Friday night and the championship game here tonight. Just as an aside, when we played in the sectional round at Benedictine's coach, Alma's coach, myself, and I'm missing somebody, whoever. St. Norbert's coach. All of us hung around after our meeting for 20 minutes and just talked and kind of, got to know each other a little bit. And I'm guessing you probably don't see that at a lot of other levels, and that's one of the real highlights of what I do as a coach, and I think what we do as Division III coaches is that the camaraderie we develop and the appreciation we have for each other is tremendous.
Well, Mike, I really appreciate all your help over the years and all that sort of thing. I know you're not leaving Division III basketball. I might be stepping away a little bit, obviously, but I just wanted to express my thanks and appreciation.
Well, thank you, Pat, and we appreciate all you've done, and the support you've given our student athletes mostly has been awesome, and the publicity and the coverage you give us is great. We really appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. That's head coach Mike DeWitt of Ohio Wesleyan University helping us break things down at the half, where St. Thomas leads Benedictine by the score of 37-32. We'll take a short break, and I'll come back out with halftime stats in just a moment. All right, halftime stats first for Benedictine. Welcome back here at the Salem Civic Center. Pat Coleman for D3Hoops.com's coverage of the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game. And it's St. Thomas leading Benedictine by the score of 37-32. First for the Eagles of Benedictine University, led by Lucas Johnson, 8 points on 3 of 4 shooting, 2 for 3 from downtown, a pair of rebounds and an assist in his 18 minutes. It's Michael Blazik with 6 points, 2 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. The Teron Harvey with 5 on just 2 of 7 shooting, 1 for 2 from three-point range, also with a game-high 4 assists in his 17 minutes. Tim Reamer off the bench with 5, Adam Reynolds with 4, John Dodson with 4. Matt Charlton, Sean Solter, and Braden Olson played but did not score for the total of 32 points. Benedictine 13 of 32 from the floor for 41%, 5 of 13 from downtown for 39%, and 1 for 2 from the foul line. Do the math. They were out-rebounded by St. Thomas, 18-16. Turned over the ball 5 times compared to 4 for the Tommies. And the Tommies were led by Taylor Montero with 6 of 9 shooting, 1 for 2 from downtown, and a pair of free throws for a game-high 15 points at the half. Ryan Sorella, a perfect 4 for 4 from the floor, an imperfect 0 for 2 from the foul line for his 8 points. And you go to Jimmy Remke off the bench with 6, Grant Schaefer with 6, Cortez Tillman with 2, and then Ryan Bull and Cullen Ogren played but did not score for the Tommies for the total of 37 points. St. Thomas 16 of 31 shooting for 52%, 1 of 6 from downtown, just 17%, 4 for 6 from the foul line for 67%. St. Thomas led by as many as 11 with 5:48 to go. They've led the entire first half, other than a minute and 7 seconds in which the game was tied. And those are your halftime stats as we get ready for our second half of action. Teams at their benches for the final huddle. I mentioned St. Thomas just 1 of 6 from beyond the arc, and a number that they matched yesterday when they were 1 of 8, but have to figure maybe a little bit more success from beyond the arc. But as we welcome back in Dave McHugh, my broadcast partner, St. Thomas won yesterday with 1 3-pointer. They're leading right now by 5 with 1 3-pointer. It's not as although they've hit threes at a prodigious rate previously in this NCAA tournament, they proved yesterday they don't need to do so.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to do better than 1, though, against this Benedictine squad. I think they're going to have to force the Eagles to guard them a little deeper. I really don't think that they can afford to go 1 for 6 in the second half at the same time and get out of here. I'm fascinated to see how it all plays out, but I think they need to do better than that.
Get ready for our second half of action. Benedictine comes back out with the starting 5, Harvey, Dodson, Johnson, Blazek, and Reynolds. And for the Tommies, starters as well, Tillman, Schaefer, Bull, Montero, and Sorella. Working on the basket to our left here in the second half. Eagles with the basketball in the alternate possession. Reynolds working against Sorella. Big battle underneath, and Sorella is going to get called for the foul. He probably made contact 2 or 3 separate times with him, and the whistle finally blew. So for Sorella, second personal foul, first team foul of the half. In terms of foul trouble, Cortez Tillman picked up 2, but nobody else on either squad with more than 1, and Reynolds off the back rim, no good.
Yeah, Reynolds needs to earn some of those points if he can at the free throw line. Leaving that one short is going to hurt.
And the second one is around and off, so Benedictine misses a chance to cut into this lead, and the Tommies with their first possession of the second half going left to right across your computer monitor here in the second half. Tillman out on the perimeter, guarded by Harvey.
Reynolds still on Sorella, and a hand check's going to be called there on Harvey.
So Harvey, team foul of the half. Neither team got into the bonus in the first half, really contributing to how well our game flowed. We appreciate that as, people who enjoy basketball. One of the people I was talking to, I'll get that in a second here, inbounds to Sorella, splits defenders and gets in there for 2.
And split Johnson and Reynolds. It was a terrific job by Sorella of pump faking, getting both guys for some reason to leave their feet, opening up a door, and taking advantage of step through for the layup.
One of the things I was talking with before the game with one of the veteran coaches on the committee was he just hoped it was a more smoothly played game, a better looking basketball game here for one that's on national television or national cable. And we've had it so far. Reynolds with a 3 ball on the way, no good. Harvey tries to battle for the rebound, but it ends up in Sorella's hands.
I just don't feel like the Eagles are playing their game. I feel like they're forcing it still, and it's amazing they forced it and got through yesterday. They can't do that against this Tommy squad.
Well, I know you've seen them in person now 4 times too, so you're pretty well versed in what their game is. Tillman Maybe a little bit of a slide stop in the lane. He gets into Sorella with a nice little spin move, and now the Tommies are up 9, 41-32.
Sorella feeling comfortable there with Reynolds. Reynolds also not feeling like putting as much body on him as Dodson drives the lane and misses one short.
Yep, floater doesn't go.
And he's going to get called for the charge. You can't use your elbow and shoulder in the paint to try and create space.
Is that not true?
Could the guy have maybe embellished it? Sure. But it was clearly you're lowering your shoulder into him.
Yeah, Dodson was just not in a good position. He was caught up too far underneath the basket and should have kicked it back out to reset the offense or done something, maybe another fall away.
Yep.
Now, Tommy's with the lead and the basketball up by 9. Schaefer out on the far wing, guarded by Harvey. He's going to dribble into the paint, puts it up. Now partially blocked. They're going to call a foul. And that is a bit of a touch foul, at least from our 60-foot away perspective.
Yeah, Eagles fans are not going to be happy with that. Coach Bunkenberg certainly not happy with that one. Looked pretty clean. I'm wondering if there was just a little bit of contact lower in the body. Usually that's where the call comes. You can get a ball real clean on a block, but you're pushing off on the waist. That could be, or body contact at the waist. That's usually where the call will come.
Schaefer makes the first. He's got 7.
Even those at home didn't get a chance to see that again, so we'll just move on, I guess.
Dave was filling. You could tell, trying to wait to see if that replay would run.
They were using a nice big monitor down there. They had the option of a 10 or an 18-inch, and I'm glad they went with the 18-inch.
Lead is back to 11, the biggest deficit that the Eagles have faced in the NCAA tournament. Reynolds working against Sorella, picks it up outside for Dodson. Back to Reynolds. 14 on the shot clock.
Clear out. There you go.
Trying to work. No, kicks it outside. Here's a 3 ball on the way for Olsen on the perimeter. No good, and it just falls into the hands of Grant Schaefer, who got in the right spot at the right time.
I think the Eagles have to clear out on offense a little bit more there.
Montero had the ball knocked out of his hands, but recollected.
Basically, give Reynolds more space to work. There was too many guys lingering for the double team.
43-32, St. Thomas with the lead. Tellman with the crossover. Floater no good, rebounded by Johnson. Dodson in the lane for Benedictine, off the glass, no good, but he will draw a foul and he'll go to the line.
He's struggling. I'm not sure why, but at least he's going to the line here.
Now first foul on Grant Schaefer.
Nobody in foul trouble.
In the half.
As you had said, nobody got to the bonus in the first half. That means pretty much no one's in foul trouble either.
Well, Harvey picked up his,
he does have his
third here in this half, as the first shot is good for Dodson. Dodson from the line on the season is a 59% free throw shooter. Second one on the way. This one rattles in, hits them both, and the lead is down to 9. 43-34 with 17:15 to go.
Dodson actually played 12 games and had 5 starts his freshman year for Elmhurst before transferring over to Benedictine.
Can you imagine being part of that class was 9 seniors at Elmhurst this year. Could have been a 10th.
Jeez.
You're getting a little more playing time here at Benedictine, I'm pretty sure. And traveling. Sorella working his way to the basket. I was trying to lean in against Reynolds, and Reynolds was like, no, I'm just going to take a step back. And he couldn't keep his balance.
Coach Tower was looking for a foul, but I think that was smart of the defense. They kind of just made Sorella make his own mistake.
Exactly. It was slightly more likely Sorella would have been called for an offensive foul. There's Dodson in the post with Schaefer, double teamed, high off the glass, battled for. Sorella comes up with a rebound.
Sorella coming over to help is what caused Dodson to miss that one.
Yeah, I thought it was just another bad decision. Dodson should have kicked it out.
Part of this decision was he's got to know he's not going to beat Sorella or anybody else inside.
There's Tillman with a fall away. That's not a well-advised shot, and Johnson comes up with the rebound.
Tillman hasn't hit a couple here. He's not having as good a game as he did yesterday.
Dodson brings it back out, and they're going to call an offensive foul underneath, away from the basketball. Reynolds and Schaefer battling for position, and Reynolds just kind of bodied Schaefer out of bounds.
Yeah, I wonder if Schaefer embellished that a little bit. Right now, I know Benedictine fans are probably thinking all the calls are going against them. The difference is I think that Benedictine's trying to get over, he's trying to be aggressive and are being overly aggressive. They gotta play it within the guidelines of the game, not get over aggressive and try and get too physical.
Sorella came out, Bull came in, and Bull's shot no good, rebounded by Olsen.
Well, Bull didn't realize the ball was coming to him until Schaefer just dumped it in his lap.
Eagles with the basketball, working the basket to our left here in the second half, under 16 to go. In the second half is Johnson trying to work his way in and fighting his way against Ryan Bull. Bull knocked the ball out of his hands, but also got a lot of arm as well.
Yeah, he wasn't going to get that without raking him across the forearms to get to the ball in the first place.
There's a timeout on the floor with 15:49 to go here in the second half. University of St. Thomas 43, Benedictine University 34 in the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game. We'll be back with more from the Salem Civic Center in just a moment.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's 800 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over a decade. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're at d3hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was scared and shy. It was hard to look at people's faces. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. I made friends and won lots of gold medals. But I learned more than just playing golf. Special Olympics helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and I know how powerful words can be. The term gay doesn't mean stupid, lame, or less than.
So I pledge to speak up if I hear the term gay used in a derogatory way or any other homophobic terms.
If you can play in Division III.
I'm a Division III student athlete, and my teammates unconditionally accepted me as part of their family. So now I pledge to do the same for others. If you can play in Division III.
Back out here at the Salem Civic Center, 15:49 to go in the second half. University of St. Thomas leads Benedictine University 43-34. Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh courtside at the Salem Civic Center here for the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game. And right off the inbounds, Lucas Johnson breaks into double figures with a basket.
To quote my broadcast partner in the last 3 games, Lincoln would have said that's option A on an inbounds play.
Throw it into the big guy who's standing right there in the middle.
Exactly.
I can imagine that would probably work fairly often. Montero dribbles it in the baseline, loses the dribble, but gets it back out to Remke. Shot clock at 12.
Switched up the defense again. Now Johnson back on Sorella. Reynolds over on Remke.
And it's Sorella on Johnson with a left-handed shot off the window for 2. 45-36, coming up on 15 to go in the half. Remember, Teron Harvey on the bench right now with 3 fouls for Benedictine. Olsen is in to replace him. He dumps it off underneath for Johnson for an easy 2.
Starting a nice ball movement there for the Eagles. That's going to be key. I mean, they're only down 7 in what is a very low-scoring affair for these 2 teams.
Remke working in the post against Reynolds. Throws up a hook shot, and he will get bailed out and go to the line.
Reynolds doesn't like it, but a little too much body. I mean, that's Reynolds' game, of course. And Remke, was smart to get him moving, and now Reynolds has got 3 fouls.
So Remke will go to the line.
Olsen's like, you got to go in there. Reynolds like, no, I'm coming out of the game. Trust me.
Remke, a 65% foul shooter. It makes the first.
And he does exit the game, and into the game will come Reamer. Now, Reamer back in the game against Ohio Wesleyan was kind of the catalyst for them late. Had a couple over-aggressive plays. Coach stuck with him, and he ended up being a major key for them in the second half. I think he's got to be a major key for them right now.
Remke sinks them both, and Tommy's lead is up to 9, 47-38. Purple on red here in the national championship game. The red numerals with black trim on the white uniforms of the Eagles, and the Tommies in purple because this is Salem. So Johnson in the low post, working against Sorella, kicks outside. Dodson launches a three from the wing, and it's off the back iron, no good, and there's going to be a foul on the rebound that's going to go against St. Thomas.
What Sorella just did is what he did to foul out of the game last night, and that's put up his elbow and shove Johnson, and that's going to be called. And Coach Tower doesn't like it, but that's what it looked like from my point of view. Third foul, by the way.
Sorella picks up his third, and Ogren will come in to replace him. Inbounds, and Dodson on the flying his way to the basket is going to draw a foul there as well.
Missed the basket yet again. That should have been a make.
Ogren picks up foul number 1. Ogren, Remke, Tillman, Montero, and Schaefer on the floor right now for the Tommies.
Ogren and Reamer lined up in the wrong spots. Ogren tapped Reamer and said we're supposed to switch. And Reamer was pleasant enough to do so.
Dodson misses the first shot.
If I was Reamer, I probably would have waited for the ref to tell me to move.
Dodson at the line along with Johnson, Reamer, Olsen, and Blazik for the Eagles. Second shot no good off the back iron, and Remke comes up with the basketball. He holds his pivot foot, even though the Benedictine fans right behind us think otherwise.
Fine. Just because he went up on his toe doesn't mean he didn't. Reamer, what are you doing?
Face guarding Schaefer 25 feet out from the basket, and this has become a foul fest here over the course of the last minute and a half.
He's trying to hedge the screen, and I get that, but he's being too aggressive. He's trying to cut Schaefer off, and Schaefer's no idiot. Schaefer leans into him, keeps moving, it forces Reamer to move his legs, and Reamer picks up the cheap foul.
Schaefer, baseline jumper, touches glass and goes through.
I was going to say, I think that kissed off glass.
Yeah. Lead is back to 11, 49-38. Johnson alone at the top of the key, and he buries it.
He's hit 3 of those. You know what? Start going to him there.
You can't, and you can't let him trail if you're on defense in transition.
That's Ogren's mistake.
Ogren playing off the bench right now because Sorella, the starter, has 3 fouls.
And Johnson sneaks in there and gets the steal, or tips it free at least. Yep. Jump ball. Okay.
Going to call it a jump ball, which will keep it in the Tommies' end.
One of the refs came running in with his hand up. I thought he was about to call a foul, but he looked over his partner, and they both ended up having to jump. Ball will come back into the game here, give Remke a break. That will force Benedictine to make a change. Into the game will come Charlton. Charlton will give Blazinski a break.
Ryan Scott is performing analysis for the Benedictine fans behind us in the front row.
You don't want to do that, Ryan. Ryan, you're opening a door, buddy.
We should have told him about 2005 when we had Wittenberg behind us. How awful was that? It was a foul against Benedictine as well here.
In this case, I think I'm gonna side with Benedictine. I think that should have been a travel. Now a warning has been given to Benedictine's bench because Coach Bungenberg was about halfway out on the floor, indicating a travel. I'm kind of with him. I thought that was a travel call myself.
I would not argue with you there, sir. Oh, 1-on-1 opportunity here.
Not sure where these officials come from, but all 3 of them from different regions.
Where do these guys come from?
None of them actually officiated in the games yesterday, and I thought the refs yesterday were up for today's game technically by grading. Pretty sure last year we saw one of them come back, but apparently none of them graded out well enough to be in this one.
Now Montero hits them both. 10-point lead.
Is this now the biggest deficit?
No, 11.
Thank you.
Johnson working in, rattles out, gets his own
nice
rebound. Putback doesn't go, gets another offensive rebound. And he will draw the foul against Ogren, who picks up foul number 2.
We said earlier, and one of the keys was that Benedictine's going to have to rebound. They out-rebound their opponents by 14 plus. They out-rebounded Amherst by 20 last night. Most of those coming in the second half as the inbounds comes to Olsen, to Reamer, to Olsen, back to Reamer
for 2.
But right now, it is even at 23 apiece. Now, I think the Eagles have got to find a way to shut down the boards a little bit and take back control. Otherwise, but to that point, St. Thomas doing a terrific job on the boards. And Schaefer has the ball against Olsen.
Shot clock at 12. Pulls it back out. Just spreading the floor, up by 8 with 12:45 to go. Schaefer dribbles back in, puts it up. Shot no good off the back iron. Bull with the rebound, and he is fouled. And that's a foul.
I don't know why Olsen's surprised. He reached in and slapped him across the wrist getting to the ball. That's one of those kind of no-brainers, and for the first time we have a one-on-one. That's the 8th team foul. Olsen's first. That will send Bowl to the line. He is apparently 33% free throw shooter, but that was a pretty good look one off the backboard.
I was going to say, that's how I shot free throws. I wouldn't call that good looking.
Well, it went in. Engineering major. 33%, I should say, coming into the weekend.
Well,
I don't know what he did yesterday.
I've got a sheet over here. We're trying to look up names of officials here on the internet. Second one is good.
I knew I was opening a door when I did that.
All right, so here we go. Bob Bennett from New England, Shane Staggs from the Great Lakes, and Matt Oblis from the Middle Atlantic.
Middle Atlantic, really?
Yeah, and Shane Staggs worked the Lynchburg, Ohio Wesleyan game earlier in this tournament.
Don't recognize the Middle Atlantic guy.
Yeah, I have him in a Mary Washington box score.
Interesting.
And a tie-up on the rebound between Johnson and Montero.
Johnson's getting fired up. Johnson's usually a pretty laid-back kind of guy, but he's got a little edge on him right now. And really, the whole Eagles squad does, but you would be if you're down 10 with your team undefeated.
It's a big spot. They've been at arm's length this entire half.
Yep.
Trying to get back into this game. Harvey is back into the game. There's 3 on the way, off the feed from Harvey, and Charlton hits it.
Johnson made a move like he was looking for an alley-oop. He started to leave his feet. It wasn't there, but then the feed out to Charlton for the 3 was just as bad. That was just great execution.
Tillman double-teamed on the perimeter, gives it off to Schaefer. Under 12 to go here in the second half. Ogren underneath against Reamer. Finds his way blocked, tries to get it in there. Shot no good. Montero can't hold on to it, and they're going to call the foul against
Montero.
Reamer did a really nice job, I thought, that time on the defensive end of holding his ground. And is that going against Benedictine?
Yeah, it's going to go against Reamer, yeah. Counting number of fingers. Reamer, that is the 7th team foul, or the 9th team foul against Benedictine.
No, it didn't go against Reamer. It went
against
Johnson.
That 32.
I'm a little surprised.
Well, we'll take a timeout here along with everybody else, and we'll come back with St. Thomas leading Benedictine by the score of 53-46, 11:53 to go here in the second half of the 2016 Division III Men's Basketball National Championship game from the Salem Civic Center.
Sports is important, but having the academic part along with it is a big plus.
I've discovered in myself, a newfound ability to overcome adversity at all different angles. At a Division III school is really shaped around you developing yourself as a complete individual. The end result in my mind is you just become a very well-rounded person.
Before I came into college, I didn't really think I'd be able to balance so much. It helps a lot that you have a family with your team that can guide you.
With a D3 school, there's a lot of time for other opportunities. The coaches expect a lot of you during soccer, but after soccer, that's your own personal time to really find out who you are and other opportunities that you can pursue.
By balancing all of my interests, basketball, my leadership skills, and academics, I'm able to better prioritize my life and to manage it.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
An obligation not merely to work towards a personal best in the classroom or in the sport we love, but rather an obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. For Special Olympics athletes, victory belongs not only to those who first cross the line, but to all of those who compete and endure.
They are challenged in ways we cannot imagine. They are survivors who test themselves harder and with greater joy than we will ever know.
Since August...
Back out here at the Salem Civic Center, 11:53 to go in the second half. St. Thomas leading Benedictine 53-46. Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh here on D3Hoops.com. Where St. Thomas here in the second half, Dave, is just 2 for 4 from the floor. They were perfect 6 for 6 from the foul line. And that's a thing. That's happened.
So they confirmed the foul on Luke Johnson. Had a video review during the break. Montero to the line. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to shoot that many when you're going to the free throw line right now.
Exactly. First shot is good. Montero.
Benedictine not taking advantage of the free throw line.
18 points, and make it 19 as the lead is back up to 9, 55-46.
St. Thomas not worrying about the three-point shot either. They are 1 of 6. That's what they were at halftime.
Dodson dribbles in at the foul line, gets it underneath for Reamer, fakes a man up, goes around for a reverse layup.
Patience, smart, let the guy get past him, went reverse layup. It's a good job by Reamer there.
Reamer's got 9, and the lead is back down to 7. Bull with the basketball, and a foul away from the ball.
Charlton held on to Montero as Montero's trying to cut and get into the post.
So Montero will go back to the foul line where he's 6 of 6 on the evening. First one hits everything but the bottom of the cylinder.
Into the game for Benedictine returns number 12, Salter from Tucson, Arizona, gives Johnson a break.
Second shot, he makes this one. Now the lead is back up to 8. 56-48. St. Thomas has held Benedictine at multiple possessions of deficit here for the entire second half. Benedictine trying to run the table. Last team that did that in Division III men's basketball was Wisconsin Platteville in 1998, and Harvey with a little up and under move for a layup and a chance at a three-point play.
Really unsettled situation there. Harvey just made sure something came out of it. He kind of started and stopped about 3 times on that drive, and finally was able to get the scoop shot to fall. Gets a chance here at the three-point play. Harvey, the best free throw shooter on the team at about 82% coming into the weekend.
And Benedictine just 3 of 8 from the line here this evening. At the first shot, and the only shot is good. It cuts the lead to 5, closest Benedictine has been in a while.
Harvey will come out for a quick breather, and back into the game comes Blazek.
Good use of Harvey by Bunkenberg too, right? Remember, he went out with 3 fouls early in the second half, got him in for a nice stretch. They needed that little bit of spark.
He goes running back into the locker room. He did that yesterday. Am I missing?
We did forget to ask him if he had to use the restroom. There's Sarla on the other end for 2. Dodson with the ball inside, kicks it outside for Salter. Blazek swings around for Reamer. Blazek slicing down the lane, leaves it short, and it's rebounded by Sarla. Again, with just a slight rebounding advantage here for the Tommies, but that's the 8th board on the evening for Ryan Sarla. Perfect 8 for 8 from the floor. Kid could have been an All-American if he did that yesterday. Sarla kicks outside for Remke, back to Sarla, low post, 9 on the shot clock. Working his way in against Salter, and I thought he left it short, but it rolled around and in.
Yeah, I got the friendly roll, which basically didn't exist at all yesterday in this gym.
Boy, nobody had friendly rolls at all.
No, that ball could have hit the rim 10 times and still fallen out.
60-51, Tommy's with the lead, Eagle basketball.
May have done that once at least.
Reamer steps in, takes a 17-footer. Good.
He didn't like it. He crashed the board hard, but it went in nice.
Kid just kind of threw up a floater and thought, as he did that, I thought, that's not the best use of your wide open shot. But it did go down, and the lead is down to 7. Sarla up top, guarded by Reamer. Puts the ball on the floor, and Reamer kind of reaches around and gets called for foul number 4.
And that will get Reynolds off the bench. They'll get Harvey back off the bench. And Johnson's already there, ready to check in. Harvey back from running to the locker room. Apparently the whole team has been a little bit under the weather, so they've been trying to compensate by drinking plenty of water. So Harvey might just be taking bathroom
That could be
breaks.
necessary, yeah. Sarla hits the first free throw. He'll get another.
So in come those 3 that we mentioned for the Eagles, and out goes Charlton, out goes Salter, and out goes Reamer.
Montero with 20 Sarla with 19, and now he has 20 as well, and the lead is up again to 9, 62-53. Briefly a 5-point game, but not for long.
Still 9:45 left. I don't think the Eagles have to go on a desperate run right now, but you almost feel like they need to kind of remind St. Thomas that they're capable of that run right now.
Harvey in the low post.
Yeah, there's two problems I have with that. First off, Harvey's making too much contact to not get a referee to call him for it, and that's his 4th foul, so let's add a 3rd problem to it. He's being too aggressive with 3 fouls. The other problem I have with it is I think the refs are buying a little bit of the embellishment from the Tommies, and I think that was a combination there. Harvey making contact, there's an embellishment. Yes, you could make an argument Harvey was being too aggressive, but I think the embellishment made it look worse.
Yeah, but I think you're right, though. That's something you don't want to do when you got 3 fouls. Right?
Don't lower his shoulder and your head into the guy to clear space. If it's not there, go somewhere else.
Here's Schaefer, a little shake and bake, puts it up for 2 and a chance for 3.
That's not right.
Lead is back up to 11, and Schaefer now has 12 points.
Schaefer just puts his team on his back this weekend. I mean, the rest of the team's been playing well. Sorella's having a good game today. He didn't have a good game yesterday. But Schaefer's just put the team on his back.
And he completes the 3-point play. Biggest lead of the game for the Tommies, 65-53. Biggest deficit of the tournament for the undefeated Eagles. Champions of the Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference, and Johnson takes it on himself, goes to the hole, count it, and go to the line.
Right now, if you're the Eagles, Johnson's got to do that, and I would like to see him get more aggressive. He's capable of doing it. He's capable of scoring 30 points in a night without any problems, and you saw it right there. He just put his head down, not literally, but he kind of put his mentality down and just charged.
65-55, and the free throw is no good. Montero to collect the board, his 6th of the night.
Johnson, a 67% free throw shooter entering the weekend.
Johnson's got a team high 17, 7-11 from the floor, but nobody's shooting that well from the foul line, and there is another 3-point play opportunity this is for Sarla.
Sarla looked like a ballerina at the end of that. He was off balance, 1 foot down in one direction, 1 foot in the other direction. Really off balance, just throws up a little scoop shot from the far side and gets it to fall. I mean, that's just a little luck on your side.
2 for 4 from the foul line tonight, and he misses. So 2 for 5, and the lead remains at 12, 67-55.
Johnson only picking up his 2nd foul, so that's a good sign for Benedictine. He wants the ball inside. He's demanding it against Bowl.
Dodson has it out on the perimeter. He dribbles in, double team, now takes a little bit step back, but shot no good. Searle with the rebound. Nice idea, though, right? Yes. Not going right up against the double team.
It's a good shot, not bad, but he's forcing it. He got into a triple team at one point. Look for your other guys there. He's trying to do too much this weekend.
67-55. Tommy's with the lead in the leather. Schaefer changes directions midair, tosses it out on the perimeter. Here's Tillman with it. Guarded by Dodson, shot clock at 8.
We mentioned 12.
There's a fall away. It doesn't fall after it hits off glass, but he's going to draw the foul.
That definitely is a foul. That one was a forearm shiver as he went up in midair.
I mean, when you get hit, when the guy's falling away that much, and it's about, I would say, a 25-degree angle, because, you know, I took geometry in 6th grade. Obviously there's going to be some contact there if he's still getting hit that far away.
You mentioned 12 points, biggest deficit of the tournament. Biggest deficit of the season for the Eagles.
Is 12?
Is 12.
Wow. I was wondering if that note was next.
Yeah. Reluctantly it came over.
Yeah. But we would like to thank, though, Tim Calderwood, Sports Information Director at Benedictine, who's sitting one seat to our right. He's been in our seat a lot.
Yes, he has. He understands.
He's a professional broadcaster.
Yes.
And I'm just a schmuck.
By night. He's a professional broadcaster by night.
And by day sometimes.
and by
summer. Here is a shot at the elbow. Good for Johnson. Johnson now got 19, but the lead is still 10 as we're under 8 to go here in the second half.
You wonder if Johnson could literally just put this team on his back and come roaring back into this one. I think he can. I just don't know if the Tommy's defense will allow it.
Tommy's can be a little patient here, and they've been the last couple times down the floor. Here's Ogren on the baseline. Shot too long. Rebounded by Reynolds.
Nice block out by Reynolds. Rebounding discrepancy in favor of St. Thomas.
And looking inside for Johnson, and there's going to be a foul.
Yeah, pass inside. Johnson got held up
by Ogren for his third foul.
Pick up his third, and we'll get a break.
So with 7:32 to go here in the second half. St. Thomas still holding off Benedictine. They lead by the score of 67-57. We'll be back with more on D3Hoops.com from the Salem Civic Center after this.
Cheer for the stumbles, the he shoulda had that's, and the tears that linger. For in those moments, greatness lies. There, you will find the provoked, the determined, the unified. It's in those moments that champions are born.
We've got more schools than Division I, more fans than Division II, and more upsets than March Madness. There's 800 programs with over 11,000 games leading to 2 national championships. And we've been covering it all for over a decade. From Eastern to Occidental, from Puget Sound to Piedmont, from Southwestern to the University of New England, and from Hope to Calvin. Nobody covers Division III basketball like we do. We're at D3Hoops.com at www.d3hoops.com.
Division III allows you to be able to give yourself to other things. Not even just participate in them, but really get involved with them if you want to.
There's a lot of interaction. It's not just sitting back, taking notes. You're actually doing hands-on things and better preparing yourself for your major.
Choosing a Division III school, I've had the opportunity to develop my leadership skills and to be more involved on campus.
Division III in athletics, affords students the opportunity not only to participate in intercollegiate athletics at a competitive level, but also gives them the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport and outside of the academics on the campus.
And to have opportunity to have time to join clubs and being able to play basketball, it allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
And we're back here at the Salem Civic Center, 7:32 to go in the second half. St. Thomas fans, not a ton of them, having made the 1,000-mile journey from St. Paul, Minnesota. They are on their feet as their team leads Benedictine by the score of 67-57. Pat Coleman along with Dave McHugh for D3Hoops.com from the Salem Civic Center. And Luke Johnson's going to the line to complete a three-point play, and they need him and lots of other things.
Oh, missed the front end.
Benedictine
Johnson was saying he should have had 2.
He made the basket. That's a three-point play opportunity.
Did he?
4 of 11 from the floor now, Benedictine. Did he? I don't know. It was only the 9th team foul for St. Thomas.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He got it on the drive, not on the shot. That's what it was. He got it on the drive, not the shot.
Here's Schaefer dribbling in. Floater doesn't go. Johnson with the rebound in double figures with 10 boards. Dodson into the paint. Backs it back out. On the floor along with Reynolds, Olsen, Johnson, and Blazik. Here's Reynolds working against Sorella. A little hook shot, and it rattles it in.
Enough time to keep Sorella from being able to get position, and a nice little touch on the end of that.
67-59, and Reynolds with just his 3rd bucket of the evening.
18th double-double, by the way, for Johnson. That's not too bad out of 31 games. Of course, he was a point or a rebound shy of a triple-double this season and refused to go back into the game to earn it.
There's Montero trying to force his way in, and he gets bailed out by a whistle. Montero going in just a little bit out of control that time.
Blazik picks up his 2nd. That's big because I was waiting to hear Reynolds' name, and that would have been his 4th.
Yeah, Reamer's on the bench with 4. Teron Harvey's on the bench with 4. On the opposite side, Tillman with 3, Sorella with 3, and Ogren with 3, as the first one is good for Montero.
This is about that time where I think Benedictine needs to go on the run. We're running out of time with 6:28 left.
Second shot for Montero is good. He's got 22 points on the night. Dodson stops and pops for 2. 69-61 with 6:16 and counting.
Finally got that one to fall.
Yeah, been
struggling with that.
Been tough. Harvey's 3 for 8. Dodson's 2 for 9, or 3 for 10 now. They've struggled, the backcourt. And a lot of it from inside the arc. Sorella working against Johnson, and he travels. Sorella again dribbling in like a lot of the Tommies have here tonight, right, Dave? Looking for a little bit of contact to maybe kind of brace themselves against it. Johnson's just playing loose off of him.
Yeah, Coach Tower couldn't believe the call, but yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Dotson dribbling in, bounces it almost off of his own foot, and Montero saves it.
He dribbled it off Montero's foot is what he ended up doing. It ends up into Montero's hands as Olsen gets too aggressive trying to get the ball and goes out of bounds. Now, geez, I mean, now it's just Benedictine all in.
Well, and Montero finally gets the ball outside. That's not a press you want to continue to push.
No.
Tillman with the basketball, shot clock at 10 against Dodson. Fall away in the lane, rolls around and out. Johnson with the board.
Eagles changing speed, trying to go up tempo here.
Olsen, 3 ball on the way. Good.
Big shot. Big transition, big opportunity. Hit the shot, cuts the deficit to 5. They're on that little run.
First bucket of the night for Olsen at a time when they need it, coming up on 5 minutes to go in regulation.
You can look on Dotson's face as one of determination, like, let's go. Get the ball across the timeline. We're ready to stop you. It's just fascinating to watch the ebbs and flows of the game, the faces of the players.
Up top, Montero launches a 3, airballs it. Bowl tries to save it from going out of bounds, but unable to do so.
Considering Montero's the best three-point shooter for this team, that was a shocking shot. He airballed that real short. That barely caught the net as it was coming down.
Yeah, nothing but the bottom of the net. Just no cylinder or anything else.
It caught the bottom.
Reynolds with the ball, top of the key, and a step in. Nice steal by Montero. One-on-one to the basket. Layup off the glass for 2.
Telegraphed it.
Yep.
Blazik held his hand out. Reynolds saw him. Oh, short. I mean, everyone in the building knew the pass was
Blazik on the other end, though, answers with a transition bucket to cut it back down to 5.
Answered it back. That was smart. Got the basket back for the turnover.
4:17 and counting. 71-66. Tommies with the lead in the leather.
Things just picked up.
Yeah, it did. Intensity in this room is big here for the final 4:08 of regulation of the 2016 Division III men's basketball season. Tillman guarded by Dodson. Game under 4, shot clock at 8. Montero calling his own number, shot clock ticks down. Off to Sorella. Baseline jumper on the way, and he buried it, an 18-footer on the baseline with the shot clock expiring.
I didn't think that was going to be a good choice, but man, he looked good making it.
Reynolds kicks off to Olsen. Olsen steps in, going to take a 16-footer for the elbow. He hits it. Lead is down to 5, and a timeout going to be called by Benedictine. It is a full timeout here. That is the first called timeout of the second half, so we will take the full 2 minutes and 49 seconds and be back in just a moment. But it is a big change in momentum here, at least a little bit. Benedictine getting itself back together. They trail by 5, 73-68 with 3:36 to go in the ballgame.
For the love of the game. That's what it's all about, they say. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team and the schools and communities we represent.
And for the many of us blessed with the strength to compete in sport at the college level, we understand that with what we were given comes a special obligation.
An obligation not merely to work towards a personal best in the classroom or in the sport we love, but rather an obligation to help those who have their own special needs and whose love for the game is no less intense.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. For Special Olympics athletes, victory belongs not only to those who first cross the line, but to all of those who compete and endure.
They are challenged in ways we cannot imagine. They are survivors who test themselves harder and with greater joy than we will ever know.
Since August of 2011, we and others from Division III campus communities have volunteered more than 250,000 hours, time away from the classroom and practice field, reaching across the country to coach and mentor Special Olympics athletes.
And to learn, as we all do, that in giving we receive so much more in return.
Sport ennobles us, and in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
Be part of it.
Get involved.
You can make a difference.
We're back out here at the Salem Civic Center. 3:36 to go. St. Thomas leads Benedictine by the score of 73-68. The Tommies, ranked number 8 in the country, coming in at 29-3. Benedictine came into the tournament number 2. They are 31-0 in that full court man press here. As the Tommies get the ball in, the Benedictine needs a stop here, and they need to come back down. They have not been closer than 5 the entire second half, but they've been at 5 3 separate occasions. Schaefer with the basketball for the Tommies. Up top, Sorella dribbling in against Johnson, backing in, spin, goes left, goes off glass, too strong. Rebounded by Reynolds.
He was expecting the contact from Johnson. Johnson went for the block instead. He overcompensated and went literally a little too much off the glass.
Harvey's still not on the floor, but Olsen has been great the last couple of possessions, and there is going to be a foul against Sorella, which will be foul number 4, and it'll send Reynolds to the line. Not that going to the foul line has been great for Benedictine so far today. They're 4 of 11 from the charity stripe. And a timeout here on the floor with 3:02 to go. Yep. But I tell you, I don't think we can roll through this whole thing, Dave. But this is a key point of the game here with 3:02 to go, and Benedictine's got to make these free throws. They have just struggled.
About 6:45, 6:30 in the game, we said, they maybe need to take a run here. This is probably where they need to make this effort. And that's what they've done. They've got to within 5. Sorella picks up the foul here. He's going to probably have to go to the bench at least maybe for a break, unless they feel that he can get out of the jinx of picking up another foul with this media break. 3:02 left, though. You're right. The free throws are key here. Team is 4 of 11 from the line. Reynolds on the season is only a 61% free throw shooter.
And 0 for 2 today.
He's got to hit. I mean, you've got to make this a 2-possession ball game, or a single possession ball game with 3:02 left, just to put the pressure on the Tommies. If you miss here and the Tommy can go down and even extend it out to a 3-possession ball game, I mean, the pressure's off in some ways. The Tommies only have to withstand a couple runs from you, not be within a shot. And I think this is a huge shooting opportunity for Reynolds.
Benedictine has made 10 of their last 12 from the floor. After 18 of their first 45, they've really lit it up from the floor, but they have struggled, as we said, from the foul line. There's no good way to slice up 4 for 11. They've only missed 2 of their last 3. There's no good way to slice it. They need these points.
And St. Thomas hasn't taken a single 3-pointer in the second half. They basically shut down their outside shooting. They're taking 15, maybe 18-footers, but they are no longer shooting from deep, and I think that has been a significant development for St. Thomas. They're being smart on offense. They're not leaning in and just taking the easiest shot that comes to them, especially on the outside.
St. Thomas breaks the huddle. It'll be Sorella, Montero, Tillman, Bowl, and Schaefer. For the Eagles, it'll be Johnson, Blazik, Reynolds, Olsen, and Dodson. Reynolds to the line. 61% free throw shooter, 0 for 2 today. And he's got 2 shots.
I mean, 2 makes it a 3-point ball game.
First shot good.
Whew. That makes it 4.
Closest it's been this entire second half. Second one on the way. Off the back iron and rebounded by Bowl.
Boll's got to be careful, though. He's in trouble.
He's getting trapped on the baseline, but does get it away to Sorella.
They got to be careful, too, with a 10-second clock. Just got it over.
Now Tillman with the basketball. Now Tommies can still afford to be a little bit patient, but you're only up by 4. Can't come away empty now. They've been up by as many as 12 here in the second half. And shot no good by Schaefer. Battle for the rebound. Montero got tied up, and the arrow points at the Tommies.
Schaefer left that shot short. Montero can't believe it's a jump ball, but it was a jump ball before it was anything else. 29 on the shot clock because Schaefer's shot barely drew iron.
Both teams in the double bonus here the rest of the way. Possession arrow now points at Benedictine. St. Thomas with 3 timeouts left, Benedictine with a pair. Tillman has had a bit of a struggle tonight, just 2 points, 1 of 6. He gives it up. Montero off for Bowl in the corner. Thinking about the 3, shot clock down at 8. Dribbles it out, shot clock at 5. Schaefer Working against Olsen. Outside, Sorella launches it from 22. Back iron, no good. Rebound tipped, and Dodson comes up with it for the Eagles. Up ahead, Olsen kicks it back to Blazik inside Johnson. Double team. Working, spin, shot doesn't fall. And rebounded by the Tommies.
Great effort on the defensive end by the Eagles. Came down here, were unselfish to find the right shot. Terrific effort. It goes all the way around the rim. Timeout called.
Yeah, St. Thomas needs a timeout here. They've struggled a little bit. John Tower wants to take a moment to talk with the officials about it, but he's going to need some of this 30-second timeout. Can't spend all of it talking to the officiating crew on a night where his seniors have come up big. Taylor Montero, 7-11 from the floor, 9-10 from the line for 24 points. Ryan Sorella, 11-13 from the floor, 24 points and 10 boards. On the other side, Benedictine, this is their year, this is their chance, and a chance to do something that nobody has done since 1998.
They're the only undefeated team left in all of men's basketball. 1, 2, or 3. Both teams have 2 timeouts coming out of this, by the way. So we still have plenty of time to stop things and slow things down if they need to, or reset things. St. Thomas will inbound the ball, but man, your season's coming down to a minute 52, and you've been trailing most of this one.
Starting 5 on the floor right now for the Tommies. Sorella gets the inbounds. He's going to dribble it up and run point until someone gets it from him. There's Schaefer. Shot clock at 15, game clock at $1:44. Schaefer dribbles in, now backs it out. Working against Dodson, dribbles it off of Johnson's knee. Stealing away. Back up ahead. Johnson slams it down! Off the feed from Blazik, and it's a 2-point ball game with a bucket and a half to go.
Sorella thought he had a block there. He didn't realize Johnson could get up there. Johnson went one-handed on the left.
73-71. Tommy's now clinging to a 2-point lead. Here's Montero, left-handed layup, good, puts it back to 4.
Great effort by Montero to answer that on the other side, especially going to the body.
Eagles pushing the tempo, 3 on the way for Blazik, around and off. Crashing the boards is Montero with the rebound, and now a 4-point advantage with a $1:02 to go.
Blazik shot, but he rushed it. That's his shot, but he needed to take an extra half beat on that one.
Shot clock at 19, game clock at 54. Harvey back on the floor here for the Eagles for the final minute. He's guarding Tillman. Tillman just running clock with the shot clock at 10. Tillman just 1 of 6 from today from the floor, and he doesn't hit that one, but he will go to the foul line, and that will be 5 for Harvey.
Harvey got a little over-aggressive. Trying to get a little cute.
Against a guy who's taken not one good-looking shot all day. Tillman has not taken one on-balance shot the entire afternoon. I would let him take that shot.
Well, he just tried to get too cute on it. I mean, he's going to have the look, is fine, but you don't need to go in there and flick at his wrist. Just get your hand up. You don't have to go for, and he wasn't even going for the block. He's literally just trying to distract him, and he flicked him. It's just not an effort needed there.
Olsen comes back into the game as Harvey is done. 8 points, 5 assists, 3 of 8 from the floor.
Harvey is a very good scorer. He hands out 5 assists a game, shoots 28.5% from beyond the arc. The difference is Olsen shoots 37% from beyond the arc coming into the weekend.
Tillman's first shot is good.
So in some senses, you pick up a shooter that you need right now.
Yeah, might have made that switch anyway.
Yeah, they might have.
But
I'd rather have Harvey with control of the ball, though.
Yeah. Second shot for Tillman. He hits them both, and the lead is back up to 6, 77-71. Eagles pushing with 42 seconds to play. Dodson into the lane. Shot rejected by Sorella.
That's why you want Harvey with a hand on the ball. Dodson has not made smart decisions.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. And as Tommies bring the ball up the floor, they are fouled. But Dodson many, many times here over the course of this afternoon and evening especially has dribbled into the lane, made a bad decision, and not often gotten bailed out either, and definitely not that time as Sorella just rejected it out of hand.
And you need points here. You don't need just to throw stuff in. You need to manufacture points, though. Montero's giving him a little bit of a breath here as he misses the first free throw.
He makes the second, it'll still be a 3-possession game. Montero just his second missed foul shot in 11 opportunities this evening. Second one on the way, that one's good. It is a 7-point game, and the Tommies will take a timeout with 33.2 seconds to go. 27 points for Taylor Montero, and the Tommies are looking for their second Division III men's basketball national title.
7 points, 33.2 left. You got some outside shooters. You got a chance here if you're the Eagles, but you got to be smart with the ball, and that's why in the previous possession, Dotson's not being smart with the ball in that scenario. Tommy's, I mean, they've just had multiple guys step up. Sorella didn't have a good game yesterday, having a great game tonight. Montero's had 2 terrific games. Schaefer has done amazingly well as point, had 2 very good games. Doesn't have a lot of points tonight. He doesn't need them because he's been dishing the ball so nicely. Anything's possible, though, in 33.2 seconds. We've seen it in countless tournament games in the last few days.
Reynolds gets it into Dodson, brings it across the timeline, down by 7. Now with under 30 to go. Up top, Blazek sets, 22-footer on the way, rattles out. Rebound tipped, and controlled by Tillman for the Tommies. And a foul in the backcourt as Reynolds goes tumbling over Tillman, but
I think the foul was before Reynolds got there. I think it's going to be on Dodson. Blazek had a great look. That ball was about halfway down.
Yep, he took the time to set himself.
It was a great look. You can't fault the look, but it looks like this one's going to fall short.
Now Tillman back to the line. On the season, he came into the night as a 83% free throw shooter. He missed the first 2, made the next 2.
Olsen tying his shoe, so a little bit of a delay here on the floor.
Sometimes I forget we're not everybody's watching.
A hush falling over the crowd.
Tillman's first shot, no good off the back iron.
Trying to keep it interesting.
Still a 7-point game. Benedictine needs 3 buckets no matter what happens here.
We said rebounding was a key. St. Thomas out rebounding Benedictine 35-32.
Tillman makes the second. Pressure in the backcourt from the Tommies, making them work to bring it across the timeline. Here's Dodson dribbling in, and does he get the continuation?
Yes.
He does.
Apparently.
Apparently. That's Dave's way of saying he doesn't necessarily agree.
That's a foul.
It is a foul.
Don't know if the continuation was
no doubt
part of that.
Jimmy Remke will come into the game, and Ryan Bull will go to the bench. Remke, the senior, comes in to replace Bull, the sophomore here.
Dodson, who is a 59% free throw shooter coming into the weekend.
Completes the 3-point play to make it a 5-point game with 16 seconds to go, and it will be Matt Charlton coming back into the game for the Eagles, replacing Reynolds.
Sorella almost snuck away. Almost got the steal.
Schaefer is fouled as he brings the ball up the floor. Almost got checked into the
Yeah, Dodson was going for the steal and ended up getting Schaefer his body instead.
So back to the line.
Schaefer hits 2, it's going to be key. If he only hits 1 with 14.4 seconds, he's still got to give the Eagles a chance.
Well, I mean, yes, exactly. 2 would make it a 3-possession game once again. Schaefer's first one rattles out. First free throw miss on the night for Schaefer as he was 5 of 5.
This is starting to turn into the Eagles' advantage, this free throw game a little bit.
Well, the Eagles are still 6 of 14 from the line, but I know what you mean. He makes the second one, so it is a 2-possession game still, 80-74. Dodson runs the ball across the timeline, takes it all the way to the rack himself, gets the roll, and the clock will stop on the made basket with 8.3 to go and a timeout, but it's a 4-point game.
You need 3, right? I mean, you're down 6.
2 threes.
Of course, St. Thomas is going to let him have that, because now it's still a 2-possession ball game.
Well, and even that, they made him work for it, too. He had
lost 6 seconds, and you didn't change the equation.
Exactly. Still a 2-possession game here, 80-76 with 8.3 to go. Don't forget, stick around. We got post-game coverage coming up first here on audio. What?
We do.
You do? Don't we? I see one more player on our screen. If you scroll down, that's the video post-game, which Dave will be setting up while I tell you that this copyright broadcast of Division III men's basketball is the property of D3Hoops.com and intended solely for the private, personal use of our audience. Any other broadcast, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of D3Sports.com and the National Collegiate Athletic Association is strictly prohibited. So Tommies will be able to run the baseline here after the made basket, and as a reminder, still a 4-point game. Dodson went in, took the layup. Brian Van Haften the chair of the National Selection Committee, waiting in the wings to hand walnut and bronze to somebody. Montero runs baseline, gets it in, and Sorella is fouled, and he'll go to the line. Good choice for the Eagles, a foul, because Sorella's been just 2 of 5 here on the evening, although he is a 72% shooter coming in.
It's seeming like the trophy's going yet again. It's for the 7th time in a row to a purple team. I'm not saying the Eagles are, it's 4 points. You can't change the equation of a 2-possession ball game here, but 2 possessions, 7.7. It's getting pretty much to the point of not possible.
Sorella makes the first. He's got 25 points tonight. Taylor Montero has 27. I would say one thing, too, before we leave the air here on the audio stream, I'll let you know who the D3Hoops.com National Player of the Year is. And the second shot is good, so it's a 6-point game with 7.7 to go. Dotson pushing the ball up the floor. Takes it, kicks it outside in the corner. Johnson for 3. Ooh. No good off the rim. Rebound is thrown up to the sky, and the Tommies rush the floor. Second national championship in men's basketball for the University of St. Thomas. 82-76, your final score over Benedictine.
Listen, congratulations to Benedictine on an absolutely amazing season. You got to Salem undefeated. You got to the national championship game undefeated. You just ran into a buzzsaw that is St. Thomas. They defeated the number 1, the number 4, and the number 2 team in the last 3 games of the season to win this championship. There's nothing to hang your head if you're the Eagles here. Tommies had to prove themselves, and they went out and did it. And the Eagles certainly proved themselves, too, by being in this game.
St. Thomas coming off a loss to St. Olaf in the MIAC tournament title game, then struggled in the first half against Central and has been fairly unstoppable since. They rolled themselves away from Elmhurst down the stretch. They won in the sectional round. They just blew the doors off of Whitman right away. Hard-fought battle against Augustana. Hard-fought battle here yesterday in the round of 4. Can I call it the round of 4? Am I okay with that?
Semifinals.
Defeating Christopher Newport and coming back here on a Saturday night to come home with the championship 82-76 over Benedictine University.
Hats off to the Tommies. An absolutely outstanding season. An outstanding run in the NCAA tournament, to be honest. Coach Bunkenberg pulling his team together, though. Coach Johnson, or Lucas Johnson had already, I think, headed to the locker room, but the team is going to take a moment to thank their fans who came out in force to support this team. And listen, they got a lot of guys coming back. They lose Dotson, they lose Johnson, lose Michael Carter, who didn't play much, and they'll lose Tim Reamer. There's a lot of this core coming back. They're going to be in the conversation again. They've built a program that's going to be worth playing for and try and get back here again. And they took full advantage of only having 5 games out of conference and played some of the toughest teams they could find in the CCIW, ran through their conference, ran through the NCAA tournament. It took a team that had to defeat number 1, number 4, just to defeat number 2. Hats off to the Tommies, but congratulations to the Eagles as well. And Coach Bunkenberg said in the pregame to me, I said, what if you don't win? Does this, do you hang your heads? He said, no. We got to the championship game undefeated. We're not hanging our heads. He's right. They shouldn't hang their heads. Is it a tough loss? It is. Would you like to have had the championship? Absolutely. And hats off, by the way, to Luke Johnson, who comes back out of the locker room to thank the fans. But they have nothing to hang there. It's a tough loss. It's going to hurt. But you went to the championship game undefeated and beat some darn good teams along the way. And the Tommies, like I said, just happen to be a team that can knock off the biggest teams in the country to win this one.
And playing, as a team, as a balanced team, a team that got nobody on our All-American team because there was no one standout, right? Teams just kind of split support. And tonight, Taylor Montero with the game-high 27, Ryan Sorella right behind him with 26. What a fantastic pair of individual performances for St. Thomas.
Yeah, absolutely terrific effort by the Tommies. It proves you got to wear purple, I think, unfortunately. Maybe Benedictine could have changed their uniforms. I don't know. Maybe that would have been a slight advantage. But
I don't think so.
No,
I don't think that's going to work.
So either. But the Tommies, it's just continuing what has just been terrific athletics at the school as well. Hats off to the overall program that's in place now. And now, John Tower can say he's equaled basically the man he has followed. He played under Coach Steve Fritz. He assisted under Steve Fritz. He's been the head coach under AD Steve Fritz. Fritz has a national title in 2011. Now John Tower has a national title this season.
Steve Fritz standing in the fourth row behind the Tommy's bench, applauding his team as taking a team picture here with the 82-76 win. Dave, we have one more piece of business. Shall we take care of that now?
I think we should.
So talking about not having anything to hang their heads about, Lucas Johnson, 21 points tonight, 9 of 15 shooting, 3 of 5 from downtown, tied for the game high with 11 rebounds. He is the 2016 D3Hoops.com Men's Basketball Player of the Year. So congratulations to Lucas Johnson, who just had one fantastic season and has been named to the D3Hoops.com Most Valuable Player.
Absolutely. And I know it's a loss. And again, Coach Bungenberg got Coach of the Year in a loss as well as it ends up. We obviously announced that prior to the game.
Not going to change.
Johnson put 21 points up. He got 11 rebounds, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc. He sparked this team when they needed it. He played very well. Now, granted, he played against some tough opponents in Sorella and Montero and Bowl. They certainly took it at him, but I thought he played as good a game as he could considering the circumstances. I think he lived up to it. I wanted to wait to see what he would do today, and I wasn't disappointed.
No, and neither was I. It's a fantastic performance by the young man, senior out of Naperville, Illinois, and congratulations to him, although I probably would prefer to take home Walden and bronze. That is what St. Thomas, this true team here, is going to do. Another trophy going back to St. Paul, and the Tommy program continues to be the furthest west that Walnut and Bronze has ever traveled in Division III men's basketball.
They are on the floor right now, actually up on a bit of a riser, getting their pictures taken, posing for video as well with the trophy in hand. Of course, the floor covered in confetti, as it always is, after the confetti bombs go off here at the Civic Center.
And I tell you, as someone who is in the general vicinity of the University of St. Thomas a lot, I just did not necessarily have the impression that this was a team that was certainly capable of doing this, right? Because how balanced is Division III men's basketball this year? But they had to do the same thing that they did in 2011. We've already talked about their path, that it went through Augustana and Rock Island, Illinois, just like it did in 2011. We talked about the fact that, this team maybe lost one game more in the regular season than it probably should have, and it comes in ranked number 8. This senior class wins 106 career games, just like the 2011 senior class with all those great players did. They won 106 games, and both of them come back home to St. Paul, Minnesota with Walnut and Bronze trophy.
A little eerie in how all that comes together. Sometimes the numbers don't lie in some ways. I would say not assuming. I got a chance to see them at the very beginning of the season as they played Emory in Southern Vermont in the Hoopsville Classic, and I remember thinking, listen, they're going to be at the top of the country for most of the season, and then they took a couple losses in conference. Granted, that conference has vastly improved since 2011 even, and you kind of wondered what's going to go on the Tommies. They lose in the conference title game. They didn't shoot well in that game, and Coach Tower talked about how he was frustrated with the squad. He didn't feel like they were ready. But, man, something woke them up in this tournament. They had to hit the road at Augustana. They had to play some tough teams at Augustana, including the number 1 Vikings there. And they didn't have an easy time of it yesterday either. They had a tough semifinal game to get here as well. They did an amazing job on Christopher Newport. I was talking to Coach Krikorian before today. He had actually dropped by the arena earlier this morning. He said, we knew where our flaws were. We knew, but no one seemed to find them during the season. He said, I'm watching this game, and St. Thomas was like, yep, they found them. They found the other one. They took advantage of just breaking teams down. Benedictine out-rebounded their opponents by 14 a game all season. They out-rebounded Amherst by 20 last night.
Yeah.
St. Thomas out-rebounded Benedictine by 4 tonight. Major factor in this game. And interestingly enough, it ended up being a little bit higher scoring game than I think I anticipated when I saw the score at halftime. But still, when you control the boards on these Eagles, you kind of keep them from being able to dominate the game.
I'll tell you, Dave, they're beginning to cut the nets down here I would say I'll let you go, and you should go start the video
I gotta
post game.
figure out who's going to join me.
And I'll take us home. Well, I'll come and join you after I'm done.
That sounds good.
I can fill 3 minutes. I've done this for a while. Let's put it that way. So Dave McHugh is going to go get us ready for the rest of our post-game coverage. But again, the final score here: St. Thomas defeats Benedictine by the score of 82-76. Tommies are the 2016 Division III men's basketball national champions. We'll start with final stats. And then I have some stuff to say, because this was like maybe not necessarily my last day running D3hoops.com, but pretty close. So we'll have that. But we're going to start with the final stats. First for the Eagles, as they fall to 31-1. They were led by Lucas Johnson, 9 of 15 from the floor, 3 for 5 from beyond the arc, 0 for 2 from the foul line for a team-high 21 points, also tied for the game high with 11 rebounds. It was John Dodson with 13 points, a game-high 6 assists, 5 of 13 for the floor, 0 for 2 from beyond the arc, and 3 for 5 from the line for the senior out of Gary, Indiana. And it was Taron Harvey. He fouled out with 8 points, 5 assists, 3 for 8 from the floor. It was Michael Blazik with 8 on 3 for 10 shooting. Adam Reynolds with 7. Braden Olson off the bench with 5. Matt Charlton with 3. And then Sean Salter played but did not score for the total of 76 points. Benedictine 31-65 from the floor, 48%. 8 for 22 from beyond the arc, 36%. And just 6 for 14 from the foul line, 43%. They missed 8 free throws and lost by 6. As Dave mentioned, Benedictine was out-rebounded by the Tommies 36-32. They turned over the ball 10 times compared to 7 for St. Thomas. And so the Tommies, they improved to 30-3, and they were led by Taylor Montero, 8 for 12 shooting, 1 for 2 from beyond the arc, 10 for 12 from the foul line for a game-high 27 points. Ryan Sorello right behind him with 26 points on 11 of 13 shooting, 0 for 1 from downtown and 4 for 7 from the line. 10 boards for Sorella, and tied for the game high, Montero with 11. Grant Schaefer, the junior point guard, struggled from the floor, 4 for 13, and was 0 for 1 from three-point range, but he was 6 of 7 from the foul line and ended with 14 points. Jimmy Remke off the bench with 8. Cortez Tillman with 5. Ryan Bowl with 2, and Cullen Ogren played but did not score for the total of 82 points. Tommy's 27 of 54 from the floor, and even 50%. 1 for 7 from beyond the arc, 14%. 27 of 36 from the foul line, 75%. Second chance baskets, or second chance points, 13 for St. Thomas compared to 14 for the Eagles. 42 points in the paint for St. Thomas compared to 38 for Benedictine. And St. Thomas is your 2016 Division III men's basketball national champion with an 82-76 win versus the University of St. Thomas. Now, I announced right before this tournament started that this was going to be my last year running day-to-day operations on D3hoops.com. And for me, having been here at Salem countless times since my first championship in 1998, I have to say it's been amazing. It's been a ton of fun doing this, and I know we're going to be I'll be leaving the site in good hands. Gordon Mann, who's been kind of the right-hand guy on this site for many years, will take things and run with it, and Dave McHugh will continue to do Hoopsville, and when March comes around and you need an extra hand on the site, I'll be around. But it's been an amazing 19 seasons covering Division III men's and women's basketball. And for everybody who's been involved in the site for years and years and years and years, going so far back, I can't even necessarily count them, but folks like Jim Stout and Ray Martell and all sorts of people back in the 90s. Folks like Mark Simon in the middle part of the last decade, I guess, something like that. And Gordon Mann and everybody who's been involved in the site lately, and Dave, who's been doing Hoopsville and making sure that all of our broadcast stuff works. It has been an amazing run. I've been fortunate to meet so many amazing people across the scope of Division III. Nationally in my travels, getting a chance to see things from coast to coast, and it's just been a lot of fun. And I will enjoy taking the opportunity to focus on d3football.com and making sure that's the best site it can be. And Gordon will do a great job with d3hoops.com. So I just appreciate everything that everybody has done, and I'm looking over at Dave. Is Dave ready to go? You thumbs up? Okay, so I will just do this. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening, but don't go away, because if you scroll down, we have more coverage. We're not done. How could we possibly be done covering this incredible 2016 Division III men's basketball season? We have one more post-game show for you, which is sitting downstairs here, as it were. You scroll down and you get title game, post-game show, as Dave's live video is going to go live here momentarily. But thanks again, everybody. Don't go away. Scroll down, hit play, and Dave will continue breaking this game down. But the final score, St. Thomas defeats Benedictine by the score of 82-76, and the Tommies are the 2016 Division III men's basketball national champions.